know anything.
Typically, I'll do either Saturday or Sunday in a key item, but if I really wanted to meme, I would do something like Monday morning.
Good old Monday morning. Well, the race has begun.
Sure has.
Luke's showing off his spinner rack, and we're gonna get started. Streams will be off-synced for a little bit, but we'll probably get working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or perhaps we had a bit of a late start.
Yeah.
But either way, Herc's at the starters. What do we got today, Alan?
Well, that's a hot start. Cubone is definitely not ideal. Muck could be useful. And it seems like it's the most useful of the three, but Herc is taking the Dodo.
Dodo, I believe, is the fastest of those. Definitely faster than Cubone, at least.
For sure. Do wonder.
Surf on the main, pretty easy rival fight. And in fact, both took the Dodo. Personally, I would have taken the Muck, just because Muck can be runnable.
Yeah.
And the meta, as of late, has been to just run the starter.
Yeah, I would typically want to take the fully evolved thing. I might have gone for the Muck as well, as it is fully evolved and can be run if it has good enough moveset. Though I do understand wanting to be able to run away from things on Route 29.
Well, speaking of Route 29, we're about to see our first encounter. It's a service fish.
Ooh, the Dodo has Rock Slide. Very nice.
And Ice Beam. Not
well,
that it's
that's
known
not something
for
to write home. And they both have female Dodos.
Some Magmar on phiyun's screen. He might go back for that.
Magmar could be fairly good.
Going back for mains on Route 29 happens quite a lot less. The key item Rando.
Yeah, and you typically want to just keep on moving forward, given you don't ever have to go back to Cherry Grove City.
Yeah, but sometimes you find that one Mewtwo or that one really good poke, and you have to go back.
Mm-hmm. In a race I did recently, Route 29 was just full of good mains. Like, there was a Dodrio with Teleport that I picked up because it had Teleport, and if you don't have Fly early, that's really helpful. There was a Mewtwo. There was just a ton of really good pokes that could have been mained.
Well, phiyun's opting to keep going forward. phiyun finding a Vaporeon. Now that's quite a bit better than a Magmar.
Certainly so.
He'll be throwing a ball at that. But Herc gets the Old Rod.
Old Rod, you say?
So, I think we're both going to see some fishing from both sides.
Yeah. Getting a fishing rod this early is definitely a good boon towards finding your main. Just those extra 5 or 6 levels really helps a lot in the early game. With the Old Rod, at least.
Well, we saw the moveset on the Vaporeon, and
not very
it had
inspiring.
Speed Scent, but it was a bit of a travesty, or otherwise.
phiyun catching the Piloswine. Interesting choice.
phiyun's catching the Piloswine, actually, because phiyun hasn't made it to the Old Rod yet. But Herc got it on going down.
And our first fishing slot will be a Slowbro.
I would run that in a heartbeat if it's got a good moveset, but some people don't like how slow it is.
I strongly disagree. Yeah, the inability to run away from anything is less than ideal before you're actively using repels. But it looks like Herc's trying to go for it.
I mean, it's got Headbutt.
And it advantaged him. Herc has been wiped back to Cherry Grove.
I would just grab that just for the extra slots to check.
That's true.
Save before fishing. I don't actually know why Herc didn't save before fishing. Perhaps he simply forgot. But definitely when you're checking these high-level encounters such as fishing, or Rock Smash, or Headbutt, you've got a low-level main, especially when you only have one. It's definitely a wise idea, safe idea to save beforehand. Might feel silly saving 5 minutes into the run, but usually better than wiping back.
For sure. Still electing not to say, but he does have a second poke in his party now, so he should be safe in case he gets headbutt by that Slowbro again.
Now we haven't seen... Oh, and speaking of saving, phiyun's doing exactly that before he starts fishing.
What will he see? Will he see the Slowbro as well? It does appear to be the 70%. Yeah. Slowbros all around. Ooh. Herculesbenchpress was holding something.
Not holding a good moveset, though.
Sure not.
But Headbutt should be plenty good enough to get through the first trainer. And
it looks like he might be using the Dodo, actually.
That's an interesting idea.
I certainly agree with the move to continue using the Dodo until you find something better than the Slowbro, because you just are so unlikely to actually hit first when you're running a Slowbro.
Well, actually, I mean, a level 10 Slowbro, early on the level gap means so much more just because the percentage of stats and the way the math works out. Level 10
Dodo does evolve fairly late. It evolves at level 31. Chaos Lord. But like for now, until he gets to that headbutt tree, I agree that it's better than using the Slowbro in my opinion.
At any rate, Herc's passed the first trainer. phiyun's leading with the Slowbro.
Mm-hmm.
And I expect Herc to go ham on the trees on 31.
Yeah, there he goes, right into the trees. Got something immediately, too. And it's a Sunkern.
Top tier.
It's giving him the warning kick. Gotta beware that warning kick Sunkern. Especially when it's common.
phiyun also getting through that wall that was that first trainer. A rock type and then Skarmory? That's pretty bad for the physical.
Mm-hmm. Looks like phiyun might have gone for a tree with different encounter rates. Not getting them as quickly. Ooh!
And we have a Raikou. That's quite the step up from a Sunkern.
And it's got Dragon Breath. That's what I would call good enough.
I mean, if it's only got Dragon Breath, maybe not, but it's definitely a start.
Like I said, good enough. And it's in the ball. Looks like Herc's continuing on without something other than the Slowbro. Yeah, phiyun just immediately put that Raikou into slot 1.
Hopefully he'll check the moveset in this battle.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what it has. And it's got Zap Cannon, amazing! I saw one of the conversions.
So it's only attacking moves where Dragon Breath and Stab Zap Cannon. I believe it does learn a move at level 11 or level 13?
Yeah, it's level 11, and then every 10 levels thereafter for the legendary beasts. I missed with the P2 hit. I was focused on the Stantler that appeared on phiyun's screen.
It looked like the P2
and I do believe,
body slam.
Snow Bear, that is in fact what you would call a bear.
I don't blame phiyun. But we got Zap Cannon.
It was a mama bear.
Zap Cannon all around on that P2. Had Bone Club also, I believe.
It did have Body Slam that Garf managed to see on the moveset, in addition to the Zap Cannon. Stab Body Slam is definitely very good.
Herc took another attempt at fishing, hoping for a different fishing encounter, but unfortunately 31 and 30 share the same fishing table.
Mm-hmm. and sold some items, so you could buy that escape rope. Ooh, a Kingler on Route 31. I'd consider running that for sure.
Yeah.
My first sub 2.5 hour run was with a Kingler. He was a beast. Had swords dance. I wonder if this one will be any good.
Well, it flinched, so we couldn't see what its moveset was, but...
It has Tri-Attack Thunder Punch. Herc says good enough. And we have phiyun starting to climb the tower. Up on that first sage. Going for the key item up at the top. Before heading over to Falconer's Gym. Definitely trying to get a move that is more accurate than Zap Cannon, and in addition to Dragon Breath before he fights any gyms.
Yeah, if that's something like Surf, then this Raikou is suddenly 10 times more runnable.
That too.
If it's not, then... I mean, it's a Raikou, but it's not a Mewtwo. So...
It's certainly not. I do wonder what that Raikou will learn at level 11. Because it does get a move as soon as it levels up. It should get enough experience in the tower to at least get that one level.
Herc's just opting to go for the tower with what he has. I don't blame him. He's probably got something, the P2.
It's turning around. Was he checking in on counter slot? Ooh, the Raikou got Earthquake at level 11. Now that is a moveset.
I mean, Raikou's not a physical attacker, but we don't pass up Earthquake.
It's not as physical an attacker as, say, an Entei, but it is relatively mixed with 85 physical attack. That's definitely not the worst. I've run mains with worse physical attack as physical attackers.
And the coverage is much better.
Absolutely. Dragon and ground plus Zap Cannon, if you ever feel like taking the coin flip, is not bad. Yeah, and even if your attack is not perfect, an Earthquake coming from a Raikou is still better than, say, a Nidoqueen. Snowbear.
So, Elder Lee being fought by phiyun. Hopefully,
he leads a 2-spoon. That 2-spoon should go down to an Earthquake. No, I was talking about Nidoqueen and how Raikou has better physical attack.
Well, this Celebi's got Magnitude on phiyun's side, so giving him a bit of trouble. He was able to power through thanks to the high level.
Also, luckily, he had Dragon Breath paralyzed, triggered a fully paralyzed on I believe the second turn. Definitely helped him out a lot. And phiyun receives the machine part.
Old man was like, I don't know what to do with machines. Phiyun going right into the gym, not even needing to restore a PP or health. But with that high of a level, I don't blame him.
Likewise.
Is Herc actually running the Kingler?
He sure is. Kingler's great, yeah. And 75 speed is not bad. It's also got fairly good physical defense. You just have to worry about the two types it's weak to. If you see an electric or grass move, you're toast, but if you don't, you're completely fine. I'm pretty sure it's less than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, right now the Kingler does a bit lack good moves. Its special attack is not the greatest. Thunder Punch is good, but
yeah, Thunder Punch is only there for coverage at this time, because right now Tri-Attack Peck is not the best coverage. If he sees a Skarmory, for example, he wants to be able to hit it.
Oh, it does have Peck. Okay, that's something.
Yeah, he just learned Peck in the last battle. Looks like Phiyun got confused by something, but managed to power through it into Earthquake to Abra. That poor Abra.
And we see a Falconer on Phiyun's side, leading Gloom. Shouldn't be much trouble. But gotta watch out for that low health.
I'm sure our good friend Sandpie will be glad to see that Gloom going down. And a Spinnerack.
Okay.
It seems the gym trainers were more of a threat than the leader himself. And Falconer gives the Fog Badge. Very good to see early, especially if we find Surf soon.
And we get a TM for Shadow Ball. That is good for everyone.
The Kingler will love that for sure.
And that makes the Kingler considerably more runnable. Now, Ghost Wall isn't really a thing.
And it can tear through any psychic types as well.
Gotta worry a bit about, still, say, Steelix and Scizor and other steel types that aren't Skarmory, but you've got options.
Yeah, the Shadow Ball I think will round out the Raikou moveset a little bit better, because Earthquake Shadow Ball is better coverage than Tri-Attack Shadow Ball, since the Earthquake is able to hit those bulky steel types that aren't Skarmory. And Zap Cannon exists to take care of Skarmory.
In this gen, Steel actually does resist Ghost, so...
Exactly, that's why I was mentioning Earthquake.
Yeah. So sometimes you might get confused. People might think, oh, Shadow Ball, or just generational shift, but this is an older generation, so it's important to remember the facts of it for those newer viewers.
Got Phiyun working his way down Route 32, picking up some items along the way. Always good to have a few extra in case they're worth money, or they're status healing items, or just another repel.
Looks like Herc had a little bit of trouble, had to swap out and heal the Kingler, but Herc's back into business and should be able to take out the Celebi pretty easily. There it goes.
I had no idea the Celebi was so runnable. It has rollout. And Herc receives that machine part. Meanwhile, Phiyun's going to be checking the old rod item. And it's the good rod. He got an upgrade.
Now that's actually very, very interesting. I would actually make a wager that Herc has a decent chance of checking out an old rod slot. Maybe not if he teaches Shadow Ball to the Kingler immediately, which he probably will. But it's not a bad idea to check once.
Yeah, definitely good to check some good rod slots once you have them. Phiyun seems to be fairly happy with his Raikou, so he's not checking the fishing encounters in Union Cave. But if Herc's not feeling super happy with the Kingler, he probably will go for that. Looks like Phiyun's making his way to the TM in Union. Hopefully it'll be a good move.
At this point, he's just hoping for a better stab.
Yep. Yeah, looks like we're getting a preview of what Jasmine's gonna give them.
At any rate, it's a TM. Phiyun's opting not quite to check it now, and instead getting every item in the cave.
Maybe he's going to check it when he shops in Azalea.
That would,
Just to sell some things in order to buy some things. He can check what the TM is there and there, and on the spot decide if he wants to keep it.
Yeah, that is definitely a bit of time save. A lot of Crystal is about saving a few seconds here and there. Very menu-heavy game, so it's some good tech from Phiyun.
Sharpen. So it's just a X attack on a move.
If the Kingler has a spare move slot, maybe, but I don't think the Kingler will after that Shadow Ball TM.
Ooh. So that's what was confusing on the second trainer in Faulkner's gym. The Scyther had Dynamic Punch. But it made no difference to the Kingler, just hit through Confusion twice.
Starting Falconer shouldn't have too much trouble with his Gloom and Spinnerack.
Ooh, Garf makes a very good point. Getting the Fog Badge boosts the power of Shadow Ball because the Fog Badge boosts Ghost types.
Yep.
So the fact that the person who gives you the Fog Badge gives you Shadow Ball. First of all, what kind of rando? Second, very good badge boost.
Unfortunately, Phiyun gets an encounter, and it's a Snorlax.
It's a Herc.
Now, if you ask
beating
me,
with progress.
if you ask me, Snorlax counts as a bear, but let's get the chat's consensus. Is Snorlax a bear, or is it not a bear?
Not quite a bear. And Herc did immediately teach that Shadow Ball TM, so we'll see how disappointed he feels when he picks up that good Rud.
I would guess that it's unlikely he fishes then.
Yeah. Since he taught the Shadow Ball TM, he probably is going to stick with that.
Yeah, Herc also likes Kingler, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Kingler is
a
a great poke.
A lot of people really just can't pass up those massive attack stats, 130 and such. It's pretty dangerous if it's got the right move.
Mm-hmm. According to Snow Bear Horse, the bear was a mage, so yep.
We'll get a small bucket of EXP, but other than that, Phiyun's cleaving through the well, making very quick work.
Psybeam, Crab Hammer, Focus Energy and Stun Spore. Very interesting. The Focus Energy Crab Hammer combo is really nice. I really hope that he goes for the Earthquake on that Slugma. Thank you, Phiyun. It deserved it.
Herc pops Repel, and he's grabbing the Good Rod. He is going to take a look. I approve of this.
Yeah, it's definitely a good decision to check, because you might find something better than the Kingler. Whatever he finds might even have Shadow Ball, and he'll luck out. But that's an Igglybuff. Yeah, he saw enough, it would seem. Oh no, going for another. Enough nibble though.
Yeah, it's generally a good idea to get a slot and then try again. Maybe you got one of the 15s on your first roll and you can get the 70.
Well, the Good Rod is different encounter rates. I don't remember exactly the numbers, but there's 4 slots. Yeah, I'm not sure entirely what the... According to Thomas Patrick, it is 35-35, 2010.
Fair enough.
And then Super has 40-30, 2010.
Quite a bit more odds of getting another slot then.
Yes. Yeah, let's go Sharpen Strats. Not saving before Bugsy. He's feeling confident in that Raikou.
I mean, it's a pretty good Raikou.
It sure is. And an Earthquake should make fairly good work of that Pupitar, though it might be a 2-shot.
Just hope he doesn't get Earthquaked back.
Nope.
Nope, a Flamethrower.
I bet he wishes he had Flamethrower. I know I would.
Phiyun's been getting pretty good RNG with those zap cannons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm hard-pressed to think of him ever missing the zap cannon yet. He got 2 in a row. Yes, sir. Those zap cannons are a lot. He did miss a few in well. I must have been focusing on Herc's screen at the time.
Well, we get the Zephyr badge at any rate.
Yep.
And the Pain Split TM, it looked like.
Yes,
And
I read Pain Split as well.
Taking a look at the right.
No card Raikou.
This is Gen 3, right?
So, yeah, totally. Totally. Now, with that Zephyr badge, if he gets any flying moves, that would give him a badge boost there, and if he finds the Flash HM, that means he wouldn't have to do any Dark Rooms. And doing Dark Rooms is always not ideal.
Herc, that's a normal type. You can't Shadow Ball it.
I'm hoping that what happened was his input just got eaten, and he was forced to do Shadow Ball instead of what he wanted.
I mean, the Kingler was confused. Maybe that transferred to Herc.
That sounds likely. Luckily, very lucky Tri-Attack Freeze on the Tauros. If it took another hit from it, it might have gone down.
At any rate, Herc's got quite a bit of work to make up. It's still early, but this Key-Eyed Rando has a tendency to snowball for the person in the lead. And
it does seem to be that way sometimes.
As much as we approved of checking the a good rod slot or two, it didn't pay off, and it just cost more time.
There was also the unlucky wipe to that first Slowbro on Route 30. That cost Herc a bit of time as well.
Either way, we're coming up to the deciding point. So, what's it going to be, do you think, Geos? So there's 3 items you need in order to... or 2 of 3 items to beat the game. Since you need Kanto access, and you need access to the back of Johto. So, you need 2 of the following: Squirt Bottle, Pass, and SS Ticket. Which do you think we're going to get now?
I think we're going to get the Squirt Bottle now. I looked at it earlier when you sent it to me, but I actually forgot what it was going to be.
I'm going to take a guess and say that we're going to be getting the Pass and the SS Ticket. We're not going to get the Squirt Bottle for a while.
SS Ticket and Pass is the least ideal, because it means that if you don't have Fly and you want to go between Ecruteak and Goldenrod, you have to take a trip to Kanto and then from Kanto. And the trips on the boat are very unfortunate.
At any rate, the last thing one of the worst things you can get is just the Pass alone. No Squirt Bottle, no SS Ticket, you gotta dive a lot of those high-level Kanto gyms. Hopefully we don't see that, because that would probably mean our runners would actually have to abandon both their mains and get a higher level from Kanto.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it is just the Pass, that would mean that access back into Johto should be easily accessible, which means the SS Ticket or Squirt Bottle would probably be on the Route 12 Super Rod slot.
Likely, but it is in theory possible if we have cut access, if we somehow got cut, to force 7 badges as progress.
I think that first TM was Metal Claw, if I read it right.
It looked like it was. May raise the user's attack.
Yeah. Because it said may raise the user's attack, I'm inclined to believe that was Metal Claw.
That is an Espeon with Psychic. That is going to hurt.
Yeah,
Fortunately, the level difference made the Kingler live, but if that
only
Espeon
barely
shows up again, that could be problems for Herc.
That's the clear bell for phiyun. Coming out of the bike shop. You can also check the blue card as well as the basement. Looks like he's going for the radio tower to get that radio card and blue card. As well as the PC heal, which is a little bit faster than using the Pokemon Center. Definitely makes inventory, or well, Pokemon inventory management a little bit nicer as well.
That Pupitar's got quite the strong moves. Mega Horn, Aeroblast. Fortunately, the Kingler's physical defense makes that moot, but...
And it was the Squirt Bottle that they received. Got that from Buena.
Well then, looks like our runners aren't going to be ditching their mains anytime soon.
Certainly not. Not unless the Super Rod's Necrotique.
phiyun picks up the 40. Probably going to be heading to the underground next. Or Whitney, if the NPC gets in the way.
Going straight to Whitney.
And Herc, just cleaning up Bugsy. Going to be going into the rival fight soon. Not the greatest HP on that Kingler right now.
Yeah, if he runs into any powerful special moves, especially super effective ones on him, it'll be a world of pain. But he should be able to handle it. Oh, the Glider's got barrier. That's going to make it difficult to take down.
That's risky going for Sharpen.
Sharpen stretch is good. It's free X attacks, more or less.
Not entirely sure if it's required when you're this much higher level, but either way.
Yeah, having the extra stage from Swords Dance is generally more preferred, or even Curse if you're not worried about going first.
Yeah, Sharpen is definitely not the best stat boosting move, but before you can get X items, if you got a spare move slot, might as well. You never know when you're gonna run into that wall that you really need to one-shot.
There is an interaction I hadn't thought of until just now. What if you use a guard spec first? When you use Curse on yourself, does that lower your speed still, or does it not lower because of the guard spec?
It would still lower.
It does still lower? Okay.
The guard spec only prevents against enemies lowering your stats. And
that's a body slam Lugia.
That Raikou on phiyun's side's been asleep for, I think, 6 turns now.
It finally woke up and zap cannoned the Lugia. What a hero. Glitch Trader was defeated. And Herc picks up that bike. He's finally going to be moving.
Yeah, it looks like that was a pretty rough Whitney. Which is good for Herc. Herc really needs all the time he can get to catch up.
Certainly so. Although I didn't quite catch any of the moves that Winnie's pokes had. If there were any particularly good special moves, that would be very tragic.
Fortunately, Herc
Link
does
Shot
have
makes
Shadow Ball, so
yeah.
He should
Link
be able
Shot
to
makes a
kill
good point in the
Lugias.
chat. That Earth Badge gives a badge boost for ground type moves, so Earthquake just got that much stronger.
It's not a lot of a boost, but it's a little bit.
It's enough.
Very rarely it makes a difference. Well, we see the water purification doggo on Herc's side.
Although it's actually
Herc's
a panther.
pretty satisfied with his crap.
The badge boost is actually a 12.5% boost.
That's a pretty good boost.
Yeah. Definitely not insignificant. It's more than any of the boosting held items.
Well,
And
our
that's the
last
silver
item, not so useful, unless our players feel like taking a trip down to meme islands.
So if they feel like memeing big, then that's the way to go.
Gonna need to get Surf and we'll quite a few more things first. And Herc did not win the lottery.
What a shame. Meanwhile, Fine's moving on towards the Sudowoodo. He's going to be using the contest to potentially check the TM over there, but he's actually just going to quit and take the teleport. I personally probably would have gone for the TM in case it was a useful enough move, but I suppose he's happy enough with his moveset for now.
I also probably would have gone for the TM. Just because you're already there, it's not that...
Hey, there's a second chance at that starter Cubone. Nope, still don't want it.
Now, if we had a thick club in this game...
Yes. Checking that item finder
What
out.
item are we going to find at the item finder?
Ooh.
It's Surf!
Very nice, very nice. That'll make Dia quite a bit better.
Useful for both our players. Crab not really known for special, but Stab Surf, you can't turn down.
I'm not sure I would even teach Kingler Stab Surf. Its base 50 special attack really does not make me want to use it.
It can be really useful coverage against steel types, like
yeah.
or just
Since he doesn't have ground or fighting moves, the help against steel would definitely be good. Although I'm sure the Kingler might learn. Yeah, definitely over Sharpen.
Kimono Girl's proving to indeed be unskippable. Giving a nice key item, probably. Lion's going for them. And hopefully we'll see what Whitney has on Herc's side this time.
Aeroblast Pineco.
Lots of things with Aeroblast today.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have Fog Badge, and we did just get Surf, so we've quite a bit of
quite a few options available
Dodo
to us.
opened up. You can either go left, you can go right.
Yeah,
Generally, left is preferred because it usually dead ends faster.
I personally would go right first because there's the 2 key item checks and the badge that you can check, and you probably don't get strength and the playing badge by that point, so you're incentivized to go back more so than you would if you were to go right. But that's just me.
Yeah.
They are a bit underleveled for that segment, or at least the Raikou currently is. Kingler took down that Lugia lickety split.
Yeah, Lugia's got that massive 150 special defense around.
But the special defense doesn't do anything for Shadow Ball.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Gen 2.
Although 130 special or 130 defense is still pretty good.
Do we think Herc might skip the Kimono
HM4
Girls if he feels behind? Well, I certainly hope not, seeing as how it was HM04 strength, Surf and strength being in Ekritique. Just gotta find the roamer and then build a main complete.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think in Key Item Rando it's ever a play to skip the Kimono Girls unless you have a very large amount of options and potential key items. This early on, it's...
Unless you hit Go mode by the time you're done with Goldenrod, which is technically possible, I would not skip Kimono Girls. I've seen people skip Kimono Girls in the past, and it often doesn't work out for them.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean to say that there aren't options.
Yes.
Aren't reasons you would. Like, if you get a pass into a late SS ticket, and you are only missing like 1 item and you've got like 10 options, like 5 options, it's definitely a play to skip it, but definitely not right now. Although Kimono's giving Phiyun some trouble. Raikou taking a bit of a snooze, back on its feet now though.
And that Hypno is certainly no joke. but he made it through.
Herc talking to the flower shop girl. One of the actual changes that we have in this in the key item, it's one of the newer changes. You don't actually have to talk to the girl by the tree, I believe.
No, yeah, you can completely ignore her. It's particularly fun if you got a later squirt bottle and you have to go down from Acritique, because then the two twins there turn out to be pseudo-widow trees as well, and the girl turns into a cop.
Good old sprite overload.
Mm-hmm. Herc picks up
Herc's
HM3.
picked up Surf. I expect him to be teaching that over Sharpen, maybe. Or maybe not. Herc's been getting quite a lot of use out of Sharpen.
Yeah, I very likely would not teach Surf to a Kingler if I could help it.
If it didn't have Thunder Punch and just had a nonsense move, I would teach it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Thunder Punch...
Yeah, if he teaches it, it's going over T-Punch.
Yeah.
And it looks like he is teaching it.
So we're being told what the roamers are, since we can't actually hear the stream on our restream. Teddy Ursa, Marowak, and you want to tell us what the other one was, Gio?
It was Mareep. So, since they both declined to, 1, take the Cubone starter, and 2, take the Cubone Sudowoodo, they do have that new third chance to get a Marowak. This time it's fully evolved, maybe they'd consider it. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
They just
I don't think
and they have the clear bell, so they can access it.
I mean, yeah, it is possible. But gotta get through 6 level 32 Pokemon first, though, so... Yeah.
That's nothing.
As tempting as it is, it's quite a time sink that I don't think either runner feels that they can afford.
Let me have hope, Gavin. Please. I beg you.
There is no hope. Only Pokemon.
What a tragic shame.
Well, Phiyun's facing Herc right now.
Sure is.
Getting confused by the Kingler. And actually, I didn't notice it now, but Phiyun just completely got rid of Dragon Breath.
Oh, what did he teach over? I missed it.
Surf. Surf over Dragon
Oh,
Breath. It makes sense, though.
Surf up Dragon. Yeah, I thought he still had it. I didn't think.
Oh, okay. Apparently he still has it, but actually, maybe
there it
do
is.
teach it over.
No, it's in the third slot.
I would take Shadow Ball actually over Dragon Breath personally.
He does still have the Shadow Ball TM.
Yeah.
Now we got Herc picking up that Strength HM.
That's also going to be an immediate teach. Upgrade over Tri-Attack.
Yeah, probably going to save it for when he menus next to User Repel in Burnt Tower if he chooses to do that.
Or probably to save PP. Probably use Tri-Attack for the rival fight, save PP so he doesn't have to menu.
Teaching Surf to the Slowbro. And teaching Strength to the Kingler. Or no, teaching it to the Slowbro. Huh.
Yep.
Not the move I would have made, but I guess he likes Tri-Attack a little better. I guess the 10% chance to status is very valuable to him.
Yeah, definitely. And with Sharpen, you can get the attack stat pretty high. So the extra boost in power is not actually that important. Doesn't look like he will be teaching Strength over Tri-Attack, at least not anytime soon for the extra PP, because otherwise he wouldn't have given it to the Slowking. But who knows? Herc's pretty good at thinking several steps ahead.
Yeah, I feel like if he was going to teach Strength over Tri-Attack after running out of PP and Tri-Attack, he wouldn't have taught it to the Kingler. Definitely seems like it would have been better to just hold off on it.
Well, Phiyun showed us that Kenya moveset. Always nice to have a pocket hand grenade. Low level, but still helped.
It always helps.
Safety save for Morty, and let's see what the former Fog Badge Giver gives us today.
I certainly have no clue, I say while lying through my teeth.
Well, nice crit Dragon Breath. Gets through the subfloor, pretty good. And now we've got a Celebi. That's
it still has
that's
roll up.
That's a Pokemon you would definitely wish you had a Shadow Ball for.
Or a bug, flying, or fire move. God, that thing has a lot of weaknesses. Luckily he made it through before Rollout killed him.
Yeah, if any more, and that would definitely have been trouble. Since the Psychic Grass and the Psychic Waters are... and Psychic Mr. Mimes can be very troublesome.
Not nearly as threatening.
True that.
And that 12.5% boost to Earthquake's power is definitely paying off here. It'll for sure one-shot that Tentacool. Swag Cargo was defeated, and it gives him the Mineral Badge.
Mineral Badge, yeah.
Double Kick TM, ooh.
That's gonna be a easy teach for finally good Steel-type coverage. And yeah. Phiyun's going to the right, like you suggested, Geos.
Yeah, once Kingler gets that double kick, I would definitely teach that over... Is that rolling kick on him? Yeah. Yeah, at some point the Kingler learned rolling kick, so double kick is definitely a bit more attractive with the 100% accuracy. And more PP. Ghost and Fighting gives you perfect coverage with physical types. And it continues to do so. Up through at least Gen 5.
Of course, there's perfect neutral coverage, and then there's really, really good super effective coverage.
Yes.
And we always want the super effective moves, and that's something that special moves usually have over physical moves. It's more super effective coverage. And that, especially in a longer run like this with a lot more battles, it really pays off to have as many super effective moves as possible.
Absolutely. And the shiny is a bee.
A bee? It's got a spore.
He's catching it.
It's useful to keep around.
The bee is becoming his friend. That is the correct play in all cases.
Yeah, definitely useful to have a level 30 with Spore for the next hour or so.
And that gives him an SS ticket. Alright.
I guess those things are waterproof.
It would seem so. That does give him access to Kanto, and also confirms that going right ended up being the correct option.
Yeah, and this...
Because once he goes left, he'll be able to go straight to Kanto after dealing with the key item checks in Olivine.
Yeah, it really paid off this time. And even if they did get 7 badges, it's important to remember, even if they had strength, you still need to defeat the radio tower in order to fight Claire's gym. In Black. So if Herc takes a left, things could get very interesting.
Ooh, that Sunflora hit Kingler with a super effective move, and it went down. Luckily, Herc does have some revives on hand, so he'll be able to recover and continue fighting who I assume is Morty.
And this is something that Phiyun's been doing that Herc hasn't, and it's something that I find is especially more important in, again, a long race like a key item rando. And that's having a lot of lot of Pokemon on you. It takes a bit longer to heal from a center, but you can PC heal, and more importantly, you've got Death Fodder, as they say, in case your main takes a hit or takes 2 downs or so, or if you need to switch out, heal.
I'm typically one to just keep a party of 2, maybe 3. So if I end up taking a lot of deaths, I'll probably just reset rather than force it. The longer heal is not my favorite.
It is situational, depending on the route and how many easy PCs you have access to. Both the radio towers have PCs. You get a few free heals here and there, such as the one that Phiyun is going to get shortly.
Yeah, right after this fight, he'll be able to get a free heal. Free shield? Yeah, he's gonna get a shield and a heal.
Where's the sword?
He doesn't need it.
Fair enough.
Going straight to the shiny, not worrying about centering. Although he walks right into that girl.
Just a bit of a slip of the mind, forgetting that there was an NPC here, trainer. Fortunately, only 1 poke, so
yeah.
It won't take long.
But not a big setback, which is very fortunate. I wonder if Herc saw that Morty gave him a double kick TM. Ooh, is he gonna go check the TMs? He is. Or no, he's not. He baited me.
Checking the TMs, I don't think that Herc can really afford to take any more time. Without flights, it's a long backtrack.
Yeah. Given that TM10 is already in Celadon and able to be bought, it makes sense that why you wouldn't go for that one, but checking the Hedge Maze TM is something I would definitely consider. Ooh, the bee has Earthquake.
Herc, trying to throw the Super Potion at it?
He's gonna ball it.
Now, something I noticed Phiyun was doing, and Phiyun was actually picking up a large quantity of items. The items can be useful for selling, but this late into the race, rather, I would personally avoid picking up all the items just because it takes quite a bit of time to pick up items. It adds up. It can be a few minutes.
Yeah, it definitely could be a setback overall that I wouldn't want to have to deal with, but which is why when I'm racing, I typically stop picking up lots of items by mid-Route 32.
In the bingo, it's a lot of us are, of course, bingo runners, so we have the muscle memory picking up items. Never know, could be something on the card, could be Mr. Quadra, could be an Everstone.
Yep, could be anything.
In the key item rando, with so many more battles, you get so much more money, and it's a lot less important, unless it's very early on, and you need a bit of early cash. Especially if we don't have to go to Kanto early, don't even need the X items yet.
Phiyun's fighting the second of the password rockets before he can move on to the executive. Working his way through the good old Press A simulator.
And Herc's started just behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Bayleaf on Herc's side, Totodile on Phiyun's side. Where's the Cyndaquil?
On Elm's desk.
No love for Cindy today.
Mm-mm.
So, as we're going through this bit of a slower section, let's talk about the potential route options that we have right now. So, we gotta go to the left side now. We're gonna be fighting, we're gonna be hitting Glacier Badge first. Phiyun actually grabbing the TM. Bit of a sidetrack.
Let's see.
Yeah. So we're gonna be fighting Glacier, or Price, depending on the badge we get. We don't actually have Cut yet, so
wouldn't be able to access Lieutenant. Well, we would be able to access Lieutenant Sergeant, but not Erica.
Not Erica.
Now, the key item that they receive in the rocket hideout could also influence what their route ends up being.
Yeah, if it's
if it's the card key or secret potion, that would be ideal because secret potion would let them do Jasmine fairly early, and card key would ensure that they can do all of the rocket segment by the time they have 7 badges, rather than have to hunt around for the card key.
I was actually thinking, what about Whirlpool? I mean, it's all dependent on if Price gives the Glacier badge, Vanilla badge, but
yes, that's true.
We've got three more key item checks.
That would be a Vanilla Whirlpool as well, if that were the case.
Oh yeah, Vanilla Whirlpool, Vanilla Glacier badge. We got Surf, we can use it. They're going to Olivine anyway. Might be a play to check Meme Island, since we do have the Silver Ring. And actually, quite a lot is opened up. We've got 7 badges with Kanto access. It's able to be done. We don't have the secret potion yet, but we might run into that. And Price will be our 5th badge. We've got Surf, we got machine parts, so we can do mid-Kanto also. So, a lot of options. Herc also opting to pick up some of these items. Looking for that catch and fusion.
Yeah, if they're on the way, you might as well pick them up.
Yeah.
Phiyun gets a new friend ball.
No, as if that friend ball item that Phiyun just picked up is something that you can't actually hold. Because it's blocking your path. Gotta go dig through the inventory. Okay,
yeah.
I want to dodge.
He tried to pick up an item before going to the stairs to the rotator that leads to the executive. And it said that his inventory was full, and I don't think he emptied it out at all since then. So if it was something that was blocking his path, that would have been unfortunate.
Mild inconvenience, but...
Looks like Phiyun and Herc were just shift passing the night. Phiyun's on his way to the electrodes, and Herc's just leaving the room with the electrodes to go get those passwords.
Taking a bit of damage from Fire Spin. Fire Spin, of course, demonstrates
the return of the bee. This one goes down in 1 zap cannon, though. Phiyun's been getting some fairly good luck with that move. Definitely not a coin flip for him, especially when you get 2 in a row.
It certainly is rather convenient. So what might worst case scenario for this route with how open we are? Right now, the biggest thing that we don't have is cut. We don't have cut.
No.
HM01. And of course we don't have fly, but that's not a progression item. It's just a really nice to have.
Cut would be particularly nice to have if they had the Hive badge. We still don't know where that badge is, so even if they had Cut, they wouldn't be able to use it. Just like they can't use Strength outside of battle yet either.
Worst case scenario is Cut, of course, behind the E4, because that would require Waterfall, which we also do not have.
Correct.
And the Rising badge. If Cut is behind the E4, then everything, all bets are off. But it's unlikely. Very unlikely.
I don't think I've ever had Cut behind the Elite Four. I've definitely had Strength or even the Secret Potion or Card Key blocked behind there, but never Cut. Hopefully the post-Elite Four item is not critically important to them.
Hopefully it's not Fly.
Yeah, very hopefully.
Well, Phiyun's facing the last electrode. It's a Scizor. I mean, it's metal, it conducts electricity, close enough. Okay,
that Scizor was very foolish. It didn't know that Racco had Dragon Breath, did it?
And what is our item today?
It is the Secret Potion.
Secret.
That's great news for Phiyun. It means that when he goes to Olivine, he got the double conviction of going right being the correct answer. 1. 2, he can fight Jasmine immediately. He only has to take 1 trip up the lighthouse. And he can just, once he's done with that, if he doesn't have the plane badge, he can just go straight on to Kanto and start checking things out there.
He might check the pharmacy item. It's a bit out of the way, but
yeah. If I were to check the pharmacy item, I would probably save before I make the surf trip. That way, if it's not useful, I can just reset and appear back in Olivine.
That's a good strat.
But I don't think it's something that either of our racers would risk in this case, because they both might think that they're behind.
I don't think Phiyun thinks he's behind. That Raikou is pretty good, but I could believe Herc.
Yeah.
Thinking that he's behind, because he did have quite a bit of trouble.
He did.
He's not as far behind, only about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I generally assume that I'm going to be playing from behind. That way I just focus on doing things more quickly and not getting too caught up in trying to find something good.
There's a saying, set yourself up for disappointment, and then you...
Or set yourself up for failure and you won't be disappointed, or something like that.
Yeah, there's a saying that goes something like that, and I'm sure it's useful here.
Ooh. The Hulk just barely lived the Zap Cannon. And a Sentry should go down very handily to Surf. Kingler's still rocking the rolling kick. It doesn't seem like Herc has checked the double kick TM yet.
Well, we get the Cascade badge, not particularly important, but...
Did that say Sludge Bomb is the harshness of winter?
I missed it, but...
I do believe it said Sludge Bomb.
I can't imagine either of our runners will be teaching it, but... It's a useful
I
thing
would
to have
definitely
in the
consider
back
it.
pocket.
I would definitely consider it. Ooh, Master Ball's nice. If he decides to go for Lugia strats, then the Master Ball will definitely help. Yeah, Sludge Bomb probably wouldn't be as good on Raikou as it would be on Kingler. That might be the move that eventually replaces Sharpen, if he's still using that.
Maybe. Although, I think... Sludge Bomb's power is 90?
90 with a 30% poison chance.
Yeah. I don't think, just in terms of coverage, that it would really add anything that normal doesn't. I mean, it doesn't, aside from grass on, like, 3 pokes, but it's an option, I guess.
It's a powerful move. It's stronger than Strength and Tri-Attack. I would definitely be considering it if I wasn't just immediately using it.
But as the chat's pointing out, it's no stronger than Shadow Ball with the Fog Badge.
Although once the Soul Badge is acquired, it'll be a little bit stronger.
At any rate, we're in Olivine. We're gonna get 2 more quick key item checks, and then go up the Lighthouse. Lugia is still on the table because we can do Jasmine now, so we can still get that badge.
HM 7 from the Fisherman House.
Well, there's Waterfall, so...
They're one Rising Badge away from access to the Elite Four. And the Fisherman gives them the Lost Item. Another good reason to go to Kanto after Jasmine.
Oh, definitely.
That's one more key item check in Kanto available to them immediately. I think that's actually all the key items in Kanto are available to them because they do have surf access. So they are able to do Blind Rock Tunnel into fixing the power plant, pick up all 3 of those key items from Cerulean to Saffron to Vermilion.
Now you do make a point. It would be a Blind Rock Tunnel. We do not have Flash, although we do have Zephyr Badge. So right now, turning in the machine parts is not in logic. It's doable, but not required.
Is it not? I thought it would be still in logic, because it is doable with just surf.
I'm pretty sure that the logic will not require you to do dark areas without Flash.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what they end up doing next. Because since they have the Secret Potion, that means that Phiyun is working towards his 6th badge. He could just dip into Kanto to pick up a 7th badge and hope that Flash is in the Rocket segment. Or perhaps a better key item like Card Key.
Yeah, Card Key is one of those items that you definitely want to have as soon as possible, just so you know you can get 2 key items for the price of 1 with the rocket section.
Yeah, because they have technical access to the power plant right now, I personally would go for the dark room, if only because one of those 3 key items in Cerulean, Vermilion, and Saffron could be the card key, and the more key items you check before your 7th badge, the better.
Oh yeah, I would.
Bad for Herc.
I would definitely go through Dark Rock Tunnel.
He does have Secret Potion,
regardless if it's in logic or not. Now let's not forget about the Silver Wing item slot.
Yes.
That is still unobtainable, locked behind Cut in the late part of Kanto.
Yeah, that is the one key item that they're being held back from right now in Kanto.
Another really bad scenario would be card key behind E4.
That would be really bad, but I don't think anything is worse than vanilla card key. Because vanilla card key means you have to do an extra 9 fights to pick it up. There's 11 total fights to go through between entering the underground to getting to where the real director is in the basement. There's the Super Nerd, Rival 4, 7 rockets, and 2 burglars that you have to deal with. Okay, so Herc has seen he has double kick, but is still not teaching it.
Perhaps he's, again, saving it for PP reasons.
Yeah. Or maybe
phiyun,
he just likes the power of rolling kick more than he values the accuracy of double.
Now, interestingly from phiyun's grabbing the Lighthouse TM. Bit out of the way.
Always a fun play.
Trainer.
Yeah, it's only 1 optional trainer away, so it's not particularly bad. Although it looks like phiyun's taking the Walk of Shame out, he might not have any escape ropes.
Personally, I think that just the extra time loss is not worth whatever potential move. Just because the odds of it being a great move are pretty low, and the moveset on that Raikou is pretty good. And you're about to go to Kanto, so you've got, I can never remember the name of Erica's gym.
Celadon City?
Yeah, you got the Celadon City department store.
Yes.
Bunch of TMs there.
The TMs that you find on the ground are often not TMs you're able to buy, which is, just more checks for them. Herc almost went to Vermilion, but then remembered he has the Secret Potion. Lets him do one more easier gym before moving on to the hard ones.
And speaking of this easy gym, phiyun, taking on Jasmine. What do you have today? A Tyro. Not particularly threatening.
It's digging at him, and he used Earthquake! Yes! Oh, very well played, phiyun.
The counter to the counter.
And Shadowblond that Mistress to Oblivion on Herc's screen.
And we're gonna drown that Metapod on phiyun's. Very easy, Jazz.
That's the Volcano badge.
And we're going to be getting that duplicate TM that we saw a while ago.
Yeah, the extra copy of Sharpen.
I mean, Herc could teach it back and teach over Sharpen if he so desires.
He sure could. But he still has Sharpen. So, wouldn't be done, I don't think. Looks like phiyun's gonna move on to Kanto, as logic would dictate.
Herc actually did teach Sludge Bomb over double kick. Or rolling kick.
He taught Sludge Bomb over rolling kick, interesting.
Just another move to bludgeon foes with, I guess.
Yeah, it's certainly stronger and more powerful, more accurate.
Yeah, but
although I
then
personally
you're giving up
would have, I would have liked to have the fighting type coverage.
Steel coverage. Because now steel types really could be a problem.
Well, he does still have that double kick in the back pocket in case he runs into some trouble.
Of course, that would require you to wipe first and then rematch the trouble, so...
Yes. Weist is saying that Fine's 4 minutes ahead currently.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Although if phiyun keeps picking up all these items and going for optional TMs, that lead could shrink considerably.
Definitely.
phiyun's Raikou, to answer a question in the chat, was a headbutt, I believe.
Yep. It was a headbutt encounter. It was one of the 2 different types of trees on Route 30. Herc was headbutting one set of trees that was just giving him lots of sun currents, and phiyun found a Raikou on a different tree. I'm not sure if they were the same encounter slots, but they were both on the same route and produced different encounters.
That Tyro just crit Spark. That's
Was that even a crit? Because
it was.
Okay. Yeah, that was a crit. Cool. I was gonna be really worried if that wasn't a crit.
Fortunately, did not get paralyzed.
I forgot that poison is neutral on fighting. I could have sworn it's not very effective in later generations.
phiyun's finished in the boat. Going to be heading to Kanto now.
No. Poison's neutral against fighting. I never knew that.
Yeah, there are a lot of those weird edge cases that you don't really think of. Poison and fighting and bug and ghost that have weird interactions with each other. So I expect
phiyun has just passed up an opportunity to go for a main switch in Vermilion. He could have surfed around in the harbor and tried to see something there. Pokemon between level 30 and 37 there. So he's just going straight on to Saffron, picking up the Psychic House TM.
And he's probably going to grab the lost item.
Did that say Earthquake?
That did say Earthquake. Herc will...
Well then. Yes, he will if he checks it. Yeah, grabbing that lost item, check. Let's see what it is. Item Finder. Not very useful.
So right now, the only key item... Okay, no, there's 2 key items in play. There is 2 key items. Because neither of them checked the pharmacy.
Yeah, there's the pharmacy, there's Route 12, and there's technically machine part and lost item to pick up.
Although, again, that is out of logic.
Technically.
So, Flash must be obtained beforehand. Which means, technically, the logic could be saying, get 7 badges, go to the top of the left hand of Radio Tower, get Flash, go all the way to Kanto, turn in the machine parts to get the card. Which would mean doing Flashless Rock Tunnel would save a considerable amount of time. At any rate, we're gonna be seeing what the Super Rod location is shortly.
Got a question in chat about what the starters were. I remember there was Doduo and Cubone, but I don't remember what the third one was. It was Muck. That's right.
Yes. Both of our players chose the Doduo.
Yep. Doduo has the highest speed stat out of the 3, so they opted for the thing that would let them run away from things.
But the Muck would have gotten Stab Sludge Bomb.
It sure would have. Alright, Fine's going for that Route 12 item. We'll see if he decides to do Dark Room Rock Tunnel afterward, since he is in the area.
Yeah, it really is a toss-up. Depends on if he's got a good enough map and is comfortable with
the basement key. Interesting.
Oh, I don't like the look of this.
The basement key could imply vanilla card key.
Now, it's important to remember that location does not There is no key item there until you have 7 badges.
Yes. No matter what happens, he does have to fight a gym in Kanto first. And it looks like he is going for the Dark Room.
Okay. I think that's just objectively the correct play.
Yeah, getting the extra key item checks ensures that he could potentially get the card key before having the radio tower opened up to him. Got a message in the chat from Tomcat Tomato. If vanilla card key, ban ROM maker. You heard that, Snow Bear?
It's RNG. Snowbear, we really should thank Snowbear more often for putting in so much work to make this tournament possible.
Team 4 in
at
Tunnel.
Feel free to follow both our runners, and shoutouts to Randomania for hosting us.
Absolutely. Well, Sandy, unfortunately, Snowbear is handling all the ROMs for round 1. It's only fair. If one of us has to suffer, we all do. Ooh, Herc took an unfortunate loss against that Tyranitar.
I didn't see what happened. Looked like Fury Attack.
If it was Fury Cutter. He opted to fight Surge. He's also opting not to teach Double Kick, knowing that Surge leads that T-Tar. As we all know, T-Tar is allergic to feet.
This is a very interesting play, because T-Tar does resist all of Kingler's current moveset.
Yeah, I think he's hoping to see like a freeze, and he gets it. Wow,
that's disgusting.
Let's add the fortune telling tag to this stream.
Still though, it's definitely not the right play, I would say, to be going with Sludge Bomb. It's the coverage is just
definitely should. He definitely should have Double Kick on his set, other than in the place of either Sharpen or Sludge Bomb. Ooh.
Oh.
And Sandy's stun puts him to sleep immediately. Yeah, Quillfish is fairly fast.
Yeah, if it could have it could really put in the pain depending on the move. Herc doesn't have an option to get rid of that. So
he's just gonna have to suffer through.
Just suffer through very slow pin missile over and over again. Fortunately, it's pin missile and not something more threatening.
Luckily, he did not get max slept, which is very fortunate for him. The spinner should be nothing to worry about, and we'll still have to wait on those other 2 pokes. Meanwhile, Phiyun just fixed the radio tower. He's on his way back through Rock Tunnel.
Entei with Thundershock getting the outspeed. Fortunately, it's only Thundershock and not Thunderbolt.
Yeah, if that were a Raikou, I would have been much more scared. Kingler's trying to turn into a boomstick.
And that Zubat should go down, giving Herc
his 7th
whatever badge this will be.
The Rainbow Badge. Alright. Still lacking the Plane and Hive badges for both our runners.
And the Rising and Storm badges. A lot of the useful Johto badges are not in play.
Yeah, Storm, Plane, and Hive are, I think, the 3 most important to find early. Though Herc's not going right back to Johto just yet. He wants to see that card key before he goes to Radio Tower.
Phiyun grabbing his expansion card.
Yep. That means he can go straight to the Snorlax and skip fighting an optional on this route. Although
in theory, main switching to 50 is possible.
Yep.
But might not be the best choice.
Since he did fight the biker on the way to Lavender, he opted to take that path back. Gonna check the machine part next, it seems.
And probably going to be going to Nugget Bridge, which would delay a potential main switch to the level 50. I believe his Raikou is only level 37 or 38, maybe only 36.
And that's Whirlpool.
Oh, well. Now the Lugia is getting back into play.
Lugia is in Logic. Phiyun's not going to go for Nugget Bridge yet, though. Phiyun's going to go straight back to Vermilion.
Okay, he wants to get that static 40. Or 50.
Static 50. But I think he more than that, he wants to find the key item.
True. This key item is now open.
The blue card. Ooh. Another one of our
Super
useful items.
And fine, grabbing that rare candy, really useful if the level 50 needs one level to evolve.
Which most unevolved pokes would need. And yeah. Going for the Snorlax next.
Herc's also blundering his way through. Well, I shouldn't say that. Herc knows the way he's going.
He's trudging through
dark
rooms.
And did that a lot faster than I could.
I don't quite have the movement memorized yet, but I do have a handy map that I use.
Donphan is apparently not what phiyun is interested in.
I think he reset because he saw it was female.
Oh, it could be.
If a male Donphan with Stab Earthquake TM, and he still has the Shadow Ball TM, and the Double Kick TM.
That would be
that would be an instant main switch. There's a male one. He's gonna Master Ball it. Level Ball, that works too. Basically the same thing. Yeah, that is an immediate main switch in my book. I wonder what the Phanpy has. But holding onto those TMs is now paying off hard for phiyun. It has high jump kick. He doesn't even need to teach double.
That is an incredible build.
He can teach Sludge Bomb and he can teach Shadow Ball, and that'll be 4 very solid physical moves. He's not teaching Shadow Ball.
Maybe he. No, I don't know why he's not teaching Shadow Ball. I guess Icy Wind.
He's keeping Icy Wind.
I would keep Shadow Ball over Sludge Bomb any day.
Yeah, the Donphan's got, I think, like 120 base attack. That's super good.
Attack.
Although it looks like its attack DP is a little lower than its defense, because its attack and defense are equal.
Well, that just means its defense is also at least
an 8. Yeah, his defense is at least a 9. This Donphan is insane. That is a very good play by phiyun. I'm curious to see if Herc will do the same. Herc certainly doesn't have the same TMs available that phiyun does, but he does still have Double Kick if he decided to have that instead of High Jump. I don't believe the Donphan's in the front of his party yet. I think it might still be the Bradco. I don't think Herc picked up Mr. Psychic's TM.
Yeah, Herc does not have Earthquake. And interesting that I guess phiyun just forgot to switch the Donphan in the lead.
Yeah, I think he just forgot to switch the Donphan up. Gyarados getting some XP. No, Chansey, use them. Alright, this wave is fine.
Good enough. And phiyun
still Raikou in the front.
Interesting. Maybe he wants the extra IVs that the Raikou has, and just wanted the Donphan as a backup?
I don't know.
Whatever he's thinking, phiyun's definitely taking on this T-Tar with this Raikou.
Herc going for the Phanpy. Definitely catching that. It's at half health and being level balled.
And phiyun not even attempting the setup. I don't actually think phiyun's bought X items.
No, he has not. Neither of them have stopped in Celadon to check those TMs or pick up X items there. They also haven't bought. Excuse me. They also haven't bought X items in Goldenrod.
I can understand not checking the TMs, but X items... I personally would definitely have bought X items by this point.
Blue card for phiyun, or not phiyun, Herc.
That Entei's got Ice Beam.
Sure does. The Donphan would be scared of that.
And now Herc's going to be turning in that lost item, getting that item finder, and Phiyun died to pins.
And now Donphan's going to Earthquake Sandy's son.
The Raikou was just the prelude. Now it's time for Phiyun to get serious.
Yeah. I think the only big concern that Phiyun might have with the Donphan is its speed stat, which, for the level it is fairly high. That's a Rainbow Badge for Phiyun.
That's really unfortunate that Herc just ran into that optional in Sabrina's gym.
Ooh, and he has 3 pokes. That's really unlucky.
Why is Herc in Sabrina's gym? That's a very unusual choice.
I think he might be searching for the plain badge. If he finds the plain badge before he goes back to Johto, then he can go check the key items that are in Cianwood and like all the key items in Cianwood, and hopefully find Fly in the Storm badge, which for some reason are vanilla more often than not.
Yeah, well, it can be really risky taking on Sabrina.
Yeah.
Sabrina's got several very high-level Pokemon, and with the Kingler not even being level 40, it could really go wrong. Phiyun's also taking on Sabrina, taking a slightly slower way through there, but a bit safer, as Phiyun did not run into the optional that Herc had.
No, he did not.
This optional is really giving Herc the hurt.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Phiyun's getting started with Sabrina. She leads a Dratini.
Yeah, and interesting that although Phiyun had a headbutt poke and Herc did not, Herc's main is higher level because of that legendary EXP curve, which means main Mewtwo.
It's very frustrated.
Okay, doesn't seem to have anything besides frustration, but still, Sabrina without X items is it's a bold play. I wouldn't exactly call it the best play, but it's a bold play.
Phiyun having some trouble with the menus. Sorry, drank some water and went down the wrong pipe.
Fortunately, Phiyun does have the Donphan in the back pocket. He just needs to use it.
Yeah, that Donphan would be in my front pocket if I were him.
Phiyun bought X accuracies for Zap Cannon,
I love it.
but no X specials?
Who needs them? You're a Zap Cannon Raikou.
I mean, I think level difference says otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Herc's paralyzed and facing Mewtwo, and the Mewtwo's got Mach Punch. Okay, it's not a threatening Mewtwo.
Yeah, thanks to all the sharpens he did against the Dratini, the Mewtwo went down fairly quickly.
And lastly is a Ghastly.
Quick EQ takes care of that. And Quick Shadow Ball takes care of that. They're
Even
both
when-
picking up that badge at the same time. It's the Marsh badge.
Even when while paralyzed, still able to outspeed that Ghastly.
They're both caught up to each other, except Herc has not gone to Cerulean to see what the key item there is. Yes. Sabrina gave her correct badge. Now, Phiyun does not have anything else he can do in Kanto currently, so he has to go back to Johto.
They both could fight,
Yeah, they both could fight Misty or Janine, but of the more readily accessible things, they're pretty much fresh out.
Herc's actually looks like Herc might be doing Janine.
You mean Misty?
Or Misty, yeah.
He didn't check the key item, so he's probably gonna go get Misty back in her gym and check the key item on his way to or from her.
I'm pretty
Inside the
sure
gym?
that for Misty to spawn, you have to pick up the key item.
No, you don't have to.
Really? Interesting.
You just need to get the rocket to appear. So, Yeah, I have seen in races before, players will sometimes trigger the rocket to appear, then leave the gym before actually checking what the item is if they're planning to do Misty then and there.
It would definitely make sense. Save a few
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah, it's a few steps difference, which always helps.
Phiyun is gonna check the pharmacy item.
At least, he's not saving before he goes. Not the play I would have made. I would have saved first. That way I knew if the item was worth holding on to. I would stay there and surf back. But if it isn't worth holding on to, I would reset and ignore that I picked it up.
Oh, definitely. It's a very unique strat. I've never even thought of something like that.
Well, here's hoping that it ends up being an important item. One of those go mode items he still lacks, the card key or cut. Fly would also be nice, but he can't use it yet. And it's cut. Very good.
Very useful. But we still lack the Hive badge.
And the card key. And the plane badge.
At this point, Hive badge is... it's guaranteed to be either Misty or...
Let's see... What?
This also means that, technically card key could still be behind E4.
And if High Badge is on Misty or Janine, but Plane Badge isn't, that means that the Plane Badge is somewhere in west side of Kanto, which means they have a lot of movement and a lot of fights they have to do before they can even do these two very long gyms.
And more importantly, very out of the way without flying.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to pick up the Storm Badge and Fly before they have to do these two gyms. Luckily for Fine, he does have the Fly point unlocked, so if he does pick up Fly before he goes back to Cianwood, he can just go there much more quickly. Only have to surf there and back once.
Now, what Phiyun's doing right now is Phiyun's actually checking the item in Ice Path. It's easy to forget about, but there is a key item there that opens after you get 7 badges.
Correct. It could be a very useful item, but there's a chance it won't be.
This is a very, very risky play, though, because if it is not the card key...
That's a lot of movement he would have wasted.
I think that Herc would just suddenly, instantly be in the lead. Even despite the fact that Phiyun has the Dawn Fan. Phiyun has not shown that he's willing to use the Dawn Fan.
Yeah. Does Phiyun have escape ropes right now? I forget if he does. Because at least having escape ropes would help him quite a bit. Yeah, Phiyun also has not done the Hedge Maze Gauntlet yet. So that's going to be 5 or 6 fights that Herc has up on Phiyun. Although Phiyun does have the basement key already, and he does have Cut. And that's Flash. So he won't have to do Silver Cave in the dark, at least.
That's still pretty nasty logic, though.
Yeah.
The logic wanted you to get 7 badges, go all the way to Ice Path, and then go all the way to the...
Which is why Dark Room Rock Tunnel is a valid strategy.
Although, to be fair, Cut was always in the logic, and Hive Badge was always in the logic. Fortunately, that Tauros missed Thunder, otherwise that Kingler would have been for a world of hurt.
Herc is the first to earn Pest status.
Going to be taking on Miz.
Very worthwhile status to obtain. Lets him challenge a gym that he normally wouldn't be able to just yet.
Phiyun is taking a risk. Frankly, I just think that Herc's play is safer.
Yes.
Definitely safer.
Yeah, checking gyms to find the Hive Badge is what I would do as well. And he picks up that Whirlpool HM. All good. I've been keeping track of the tracker for you in your absence.
So depending on what TM Herc gives, Herc confirmed a gym leader.
Yes.
Depending on what TM that I apparently cannot speak.
Misty doesn't give a TM. We'll see what badge she gives. She could give Hive badge, but she might not.
At any rate, Herc is really blowing past phiyun with the levels department.
Yeah, he's fighting the higher level trainers earlier, which will give him a different curve. Although
Also
phiyun
give him
has
a
the better
definite-
moveset available.
Definite edge on the lower level enemies.
Mm-hmm. Is that the first jinx of the run? I do believe Herc just lost the race. That was a
that's
crunch jinx.
Oh, but Herc, I didn't see that, but Herc did pick up the Fampi.
Oh yeah, he caught the Fampi, he just didn't evolve it.
Interesting that, I mean, I guess, yeah, he doesn't have the Earthquake TM. And I guess hasn't checked his moveset either.
No.
But I still think you can build a main from that Fampi.
Oh, it's absolutely what I would have main switched to. I would have ditched the Raikou in a second, I would have ditched the Kingler in a second.
Without a doubt.
Finds finishing up that second floor of Radio Tower. Ooh, the Hive badge!
That's
Lucky day
pretty
for
big.
Herc. But he
phiyun's
still
got
doesn't have
Herc's
cut.
got. Yeah. And as far as Herc is concerned, I mean, he'll check Pharmacy before doing anything else, so he will get it, but as far as Herc is concerned, it could be either basement or top of Radio Tower, or
Yeah.
something.
I have a feeling Herc might go for the False Director first. Well, maybe he will go for Secret Potion first because it's closer to Olivine. But it's still not something I would want to do just yet. Yeah, Pharmacy is still skippable at this time. Just deciding on what he can do. I think
looks
he
like-
might be going for Janine.
Yeah, Janine.
Maybe he'll check some TMs on the way there.
Maybe he forgot about Pharmacy and is thinking Janine has to give Plain Badge and Plain Badge hides cut. Still opting to not buy X items, which is extremely risky, because even if you have Sharpen, you're not going to outspeed everything on Red Steam.
Yeah, if I were to buy X items, I would buy them when I'm in Goldenrod doing the Radio Tower segment. Because I usually have a lot of money by then, in addition to having locked in to what is probably going to be my main through the rest of the run.
Generally, for me, it varies when I buy X items, depending on a few factors. Like earlier today, I was gonna Death Warp, so I bought X items really early to not waste the money. Stuff like that. At any rate, neither of our players have many X items, and phiyun's not going to be needing them for a bit. Because
No, sir.
the Radio Tower takes a while.
And the strongest Pokemon in the Radio Tower is on the Team Rocket leader on the right side, and it's level 35. So phiyun should be fine for the rest of the Radio Tower segment. I personally hope that card key isn't vanilla, and that they're able to pick it up on the False Director. If not, this ROM is cursed, and Snow Bear is banned.
I'm still hoping for E4.
E4 is doable, because we do know that phiyun has access to cut, and
True.
he'll probably go for those remaining Kanto gems after finishing what he can do with Radio Tower.
Yeah, we could have a vanilla Rising Badge or Rising Badge in some place where we can't access it easily. At least. Or taking on Janine shouldn't be any issues. Janine's highest is a level 39. Herc shouldn't even really need to set up much. Although with that confusion, and Herc's set up +3 now.
Mm-hmm.
But Herc's got some berries, but getting hit again. Confused.
Another D-punch. That Sludge Bomb finally paying off.
Something tells me he could have one-shot it without the pluses.
Yeah, Janine is not something I would worry about. The pass. Well, that at least gives better access to Kanto if Phiyun wants to go right back there immediately instead of checking what's in the basement. I know that's probably what I would do because I would be hoping beyond hope that the card key is not vanilla. And yes, this is a Snow Bear Rom Raven.
Yeah, and we know for a fact... Well, yeah, we know for a fact that Hive Badge has to be one of the 2 missing gyms that he hasn't fought yet. There's no
The Boulder Badge. Yeah, there's only 2 more badges Phiyun can fight right now, so we know that he knows that Hive Badge is one of them.
And we still don't have
Unless the Plain Badge is not one of them, but he is in fact going back to Kanto, hoping to find the card key on either West Side or Elite 4 once he gets the Hive Badge.
Herc has a bit of an uphill battle.
Yep.
But so does Phiyun. Right now it's really hard to say who's in the lead.
Yeah, Phiyun has finished 8 fights that Herc is not. Herc has finished 7 fights that Phiyun is not. The fights Herc has finished are higher level, so they're considerably more challenging for him. But the Raikou should be able to handle that very easily.
Oh, definitely. And depending on how on what Herc does after getting cut from the pharmacy, if Herc goes right back into Kanto, could be interesting. If the card key is at Silverwing location, because right now there's only 3 spots the card key can be: Basement, E4, and Silverwing.
Mm-hmm.
And of those, 2 of those 3 really suck.
Oh yeah. If it's on the Silverwing slot, that would be ideal. But with how the logic's been going, I'm not hopeful.
Well, I suppose if we got Plain Badge, it could be on Chuck's wife.
Yes. If Plain Badges is accessible easily, then it could be on Chuck's wife.
That might be the worst case scenario, honestly.
No, the worst case scenario would be if the lost item or basement key were locked behind something stupid like Elite 4, and then the basement key or lost item led to the other of those 2, and then the other check led to the item they needed.
Okay, here's what could happen. Blue gives Plain Badge. Chuck's wife gives card key. And the right side of Radio Tower gives Fly. And then Storm Badge is behind Claire.
That would be pretty sucky. I'm personally hoping for something kinder than that. Yeah, worst case for card key is vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla card key is also pretty bad.
Vanilla Storm Badge is also very bad because you want to put off having to surf all the way there to only to have to surf all the way back. And because you didn't have the Storm Badge as a result for going there. But on the other chance, there's the chance that it's vanilla. It's something you have to risk.
Well, Herc's taking the same risk that Phiyun took.
Yep, he's going to the radio tower now.
That really is interesting to me.
They don't have many checks they can do left. Herc has not gone to check the pharmacy though, so he won't be getting cut anytime soon.
Oh, Herc did not get... then I think Herc has just forgotten the pharmacy location exists. That's why he fought Janine.
No,
He went down.
I think the reason he didn't go to the pharmacy is because it's a lot of surfing only to come out with something that you might not need. Like the coin case or the mystery egg or the red scale.
I really think that you check pharmacy before you potentially go all the way up the radio tower, only to go all the way back down.
If I didn't know where the item was, I would go for the thing that requires faster movement, which is the radio tower.
Yeah, but also remember that he's also missing card key, so that's two checks that could be at the pharmacy. Either way, it's not going to pay
There's
off.
always a good chance that card key is on the false director or vanilla, and then there's the chance that cut is on finishing radio tower or card key.
Either way, there have been quite a lot of options this race. Looks like both our players might be making the wrong choice.
Well, Fine's picking up that high badge, which is definitely good for him. He sent Misty back to her gym. He's also earned pest status. Good for him. Golf clap. So he's gonna pick up the high badge. I feel like he's probably gonna go check the old man's item, if nothing else. He might do Blaine and Brock while he's there, but I don't think he'll check the basement unless he absolutely has to.
I think optimally right now it just makes sense to do Blaine, Brock, and then go to Janine, and then just if it's not the item,
yeah,
in from the old man, then you do base.
Yeah, vanilla basements is always last resort for me. Misley, you see that big meaty claw that Herc's got? You should see what the Snorlax was. It was a Phanpy that had high jump kick, and Phiyun had TMs for Earthquake, Shadow Ball, and Sludge Bomb. He taught Earthquake and Sludge Bomb to it and leveled it up into a Donphan. It's just sitting in the back of his party while he's still using the Raikou he's had from the start.
We're gonna have to ask him about that.
It's definitely gonna be my first question once he gets in here. That and whatever he thought of how banned Snowbear should be after this ROM. So,
I mean, it's definitely a backup poke, the Donphan, but usually your backup poke is worse than your main.
Yeah. High badge for Phiyun, very good. Herc working towards that pass. So you can have much nicer Kanto access.
And Phiyun is going to be going, finally,
I think he's going to Erica. I think he's going to Erica first, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot that Erica was an option that we have not explored yet. Erica could have Plain Badge, in which case it would probably be better to go check that out. And also to buy X items.
Yeah, the X item shop is definitely something I would take care of right around now. Couple more X accuracies for the zap cannons. Awesome X attacks. A few X defends, a few X speeds, and a lot of X specials.
I don't think you need quite that many, but to each their own.
Yeah, I typically would just do like press right to make it an increment of 10 plus 1.
Generally, I buy about 10 X specials and 20 X attacks or X specials, depending on my
I think
main.
18 is quick attack. I didn't quite catch the rest of them. I think one of them was a ground move. But he's got Earthquake, so he doesn't need them. Some revives, hypers, lots of hypers. It was Magnitude. So Team 37 was Magnitude. That's normally Sandstorm. full heals, very good. A couple escape ropes, smart. He might have to go to the basement, so good to make sure you have those.
The T-Tar returns, and Herc is running out of PP.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, this is the last fight of the left side of the tower, but Herc is, I really can't stress enough how important that double kick is going to be for Herc.
Now let's see if Herc decides to go to the basement immediately or not. That would be an interesting play to divert from phiyun and work on catching up.
I mean, without cut, I can't imagine there being any other option. In fact, there is no other option. He has to do the basement. Or check
check the pharmacy.
Ice Path.
Yeah, Ice Path and pharmacy. And he's going for the basement. He's going to take the extra 9 fights.
Meanwhile, phiyun taught the Donphan strength. I had a feeling that was inevitable.
Yeah, very smart play. That poor Vileplume. I mean, what am I saying? It's a Vileplume.
The mystery egg. Oh no. Well, we've got a bad ROM.
We sure do.
So either, you know what
Hopefully,
will be really interesting.
I'm hoping that Brock will give us a good badge.
I'm hoping that like we get the plane badge. Well, I mean we have to get the plane badge on the left side of Kanto.
Yeah,
so
plane badge is either.
Plane badge.
Yes, assuming plane badge isn't on blue and he doesn't surf all the way back for blue.
If card key is at the bottom and Herc gets that.
Rival 4 leading with a Chansey. That's some free experience.
Okay, so here's what happens. Right now it's 50-50. If the card key is where Herc is going, basement of Goldenrod, Herc is still in this. Herc might be in the lead. Herc doesn't have cut though. It's a bit iffy.
Mm-hmm.
If it's on E4, then all bets are off if phiyun goes for E4. Because phiyun could get a massive lead, potentially insurmountable, if he goes for E4 and it's there. But that's quite the play. I suppose it's not possible. Now the reason we like to do E4 at the end of the race is because it actually saves a little bit of time, because when you have all 16 badges, you can enter Mount Silver. Now you still need to defeat the Elite
The
Four.
Storm Badge, ooh.
Yeah. So Vanilla Storm Badge. Or
Vanilla?
no, sorry, that's the wrong term. I'm like, wait, Vanilla Storm Badge. When did we get?
When did he get plane badge so he could go back to Sandwood? But that is Storm Badge is a very good thing to find. That means once he finds the Fly HM, he can get much better movement. Vanilla Fly would be super annoying, but it is entirely possible and on the table.
Honestly, with Storm Badge, I think the odds. I think I would in this position.
You know, there's also the possibility that card key is locked behind the squirt bottle, and that when phiyun finds the plane badge somewhere on West Side Kanto, which is we know is going to be either Blaine or Blue. If phiyun finds that plane badge and checks the squirt bottle and finds the card key, that would be huge.
True.
Although it's still very possible that card key's vanilla, and Herc's on his way to get it now.
There really isn't a good option. Well, back to what I was saying about the reason we'd like to do E4 later. So there's a time save at the end that I assume, well, it's possible that our runners will do, depending on where.
It's not a huge time save. It's only about 10 seconds.
Yeah, but the trick is you get the fly point from Mount Silver. So, and this is of course assuming you have fly.
Yes.
So then you can fly directly to Mount Silver instead of having to walk all the way back from Blue's village town.
From Viridian
I'm really
City.
bad at Kanto names. Viridian, yes.
There's two of them that start with V, and it's easy to mistake them. Viridian and Vermilion.
Just gotta remember the song. On the road to Viridian City.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, on the road.
At any rate, we're fighting Blaine on Phiyun's side.
Once again, we are for this tournament. We're using the standard bingo settings for making the ROMs rather than the key item settings we typically use for our own personal races. So there are going to be no forced full evolutions, which means that Spearow is not a Fearow. Normally, we would have level 50 and higher Pokemon be fully evolved guaranteed.
And it's the Plain Badge. So he's got two options.
Yeah.
Take a right, fight Janine, and then check what the Plain Badge is, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah,
the other
going for
option,
Janine first, is just the better movement, because biking up the cycling road is, to get back to Kanto is much better than having to surf from or from Seafoam Islands all the way up to Diglett Cave and then through Diglett Cave. It's just a much better bit of movement.
I was actually going to suggest he goes to the left and fights the E4.
Yeah, he could do that in the hopes that Fly or Card Key is over there. But if you can avoid fighting Rival 1, you typically want to, because that's just an annoying extra fight that you don't have to do. Phiyun is getting ready to pick up his Boulder Badge, while Herc continues to trudge through the basement. Phiyun hasn't fought the Celadon Gym yet, so maybe he's going to do that on his way as well.
Yeah, hasn't fought Erica.
I'm counting that
No,
right.
neither of them has fought Erica.
Yeah, because the last 4 gyms Phiyun will have available to him will be Erica, Blue, Claire, and Chuck. And he'll have 4 badges left to collect after this one. So yeah, it's a smart play by Phiyun.
Herc's got 4 trainers left, counting this one, I believe. Maybe 5.
How many has he fought? He's gotten past Rival 1 or Rival 4 as well as the 3 there. Is he on the first or second burglar?
He passed the second burglar.
Okay, so he's on the rocket girl that guards the door.
Correct.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's on the 8th fight of 11. So he's got 3 more after this, yes.
And we're getting close to the moment of truth. If Plain Badge is Card Key, then Phiyun, I think it's safe to say that Phiyun just instantly wins. Herc would have too far of a deficit. If Flower Shop does not give the Card Key, and the Card Key is where Herc is, anything goes. And Herc is not ahead, but he's definitely not behind. And Zap Cannon Fortress returns once again to ruin the Kingler's day.
Indeed it does. Swords Dance Alakazam. If there was ever a question if that Alakazam was physical or not, what else would you expect?
I still wouldn't run it.
Oh yeah, because if you use Swords Dance 2 times no attack is still no attack. 2 more fights till the moment of truth. I forgot to mark that Herc has the basement key for some reason. Phiyun's fighting Biker on the way back up to Celadon. Just finished that, so he'll be...
Herc
spiking up there for a minute.
Or actually, no. Okay, yeah, one more fight for Herc.
Yeah, he's on his last fight, the 11th fight. Snorms timed it on a recent run of his a few nights ago, and it was about 8.5 minutes for him to do these 11 fights.
That's rough.
So it's a pretty unfortunate and significant time loss if you end up having to do it and not needing it.
If it's Fly, that's an interesting edge case. If it's Fly, then in theory, Herc would save time flying around.
It's vanilla! Okay,
Oh, that's
Snowberry is permabanned. Confirmed.
That is terrible, but on the same time, it also is really good for Herc. Because that means that Herc is not out of the race. Herc has a chance. Herc is definitely in it.
Herc is absolutely still in this. It's just a matter of, will he find the... Will he think to go to the pharmacy?
Right, I'd forgotten he does not have cut.
Herc made it Sunday, so he picked up a free TM27 for his main. And I believe that was Metal Claw, a sleep move, and defense curl.
Phiyun about to pick up that flower
TM27
shop.
was Solar Beam.
It's flower shop key item. Is this going to be Fly?
Survey says yes.
Wow.
So Phiyun is ready to move. Phiyun can go anywhere, so I think he's going to teach Fly and go to Cianwood, hoping to find the card key on Chuck's wife. That's the best case scenario for him, though we know it to not be that. Because that's the only key item he can check remaining, other than the Elite Four's item.
I would definitely check the Elite Four before dedicating 8.5 minutes to the basement.
Looks like Sandy and Garf are both doing some High School Musical karaoke in the chat. Always appreciated.
Herc going to be finishing up the right side of
the radio tower. That is going to be 4 fights he has to do.
So what items do we not know the locations of? We don't know where the Super Rod is.
Yeah, we don't know Super Rod. We don't know where the coin case is, and we don't know where the red scale is. Those are the only 3 key items we don't know. Also, we don't know which badges are which for the remaining 4 that Phiyun has not done.
And the 3 locations are right side of Radio Tower, Elite Four, and Chuck's wife.
Yes. So, Phiyun is sure to check what Chuck's wife has, since he's here and he doesn't have the coin case yet, or not coin case, the card key yet. So we'll for sure see which of those 3 Chuck's wife has. The next question will be if he decides to opt for Fight Blue and the Elite Four, or bite the bullet and go to the basement.
Personally, I think the correct option is to just fight the Elite Four.
I believe so too.
Not even fight Blue. Blue's high level.
Yeah.
E4 is a bit easier.
Yeah. Taking on the Elite Four would be the better choice for me if I didn't know where the coin case or where the card key is, because I'd rather do the required fights and not get something required, than do something do a bunch of non-required fights and get something I don't need.
Oh, of course.
Potentially.
Although it's still something to point out that the Raikou is still not level 50. The Donphan.
Yeah, that legendary EXP curve is really starting to hurt the Raikou. Another reason I would have swapped over to the Donphan.
Well, there's the Rising badge. Now we can go to the Elite Four. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually, with so few fights left, I'm actually concerned for Phiyun. I'm concerned that he's not even like he's gonna be really, really low
Yep,
level.
he's going to the Elite Four. That's the play I would have made as well.
That's the correct play.
Oh no, he's going for blue. He does have plenty of X items, so blue shouldn't be too terrible for him. Although he will be fighting from 10 levels down.
More than.
About 10 levels down. It's
Yeah.
like 50.
Blue's
Red
highest
scale.
is a 60, I believe.
No, blue's highest is a 58, I think. Yep.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah, he's got a couple 58s, a couple 56s. Some other stuff.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
And, okay, it looks like we aren't going to have a bad time setting up.
Yeah, Fine's just gonna reset so we can undo the tail whip and set up guard spec first. Yeah, in Heart Gold still silver, it might be 60, but not in crystal. Gonna double check that now when I can. End up thinking of it. Yeah, in Heart Gold Soul Silver, blue has level 60 Pidgeot, but his highest in crystal is 58. He's actually got 3 level 58s. Normally it's a Gyarados, Executor, and Arcanine.
Well, fortunately, this Quilava seems to be rather fond of its tail. So
it's on fire, so I'd be trying to put that out as well.
Don't worry, the Raikou helped out with Surf.
Yeah. Those X specials helping out a lot. That Hitmontop might have survived a Zap Cannon otherwise. It's got a very good special defense. But Zap Cannon should take care of the rest of Blue's team unless he's got any ground types. Those X accuracies are working out very nicely for him.
That's a rough T-Tar.
Not if you drown it.
I'm just looking at that T-Tar and I'm thinking of Herc, how badly Herc's been walled by T-Tar already,
Yeah.
and that's a very high level one.
Yeah.
That basically forces him to, because even with massive plus 6, from that many levels down, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, he absolutely should be teaching double kick to this Kingler by now. The Soul Badge. Sludge Bomb getting that boost finally.
Oh man.
Still missing the Thunder Badge, so he doesn't have the badge boost for Zap Cannon, unfortunately.
Herc finally remembering about the pharmacy. He's gonna be kicking himself when he probably already is.
Yeah, he's going to be glad that he has the card key and has finished Radio Tower at least. But not having cut is also a big downside because he can't do Elite Four or the West Side of Kanto yet. Of course, he's about to be able to.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because
It's particularly annoying though. It's particularly annoying though because the Plane Badge and Storm Badge were both locked behind Westside Kanto. Which means even if you had Fly, you wouldn't be able to fly back from here. Because he has to get the Plane Badge from Blaine in order to get the Fly from the Squirt Bottle. It's still a lot of time lost that he's taking.
Lots of back and forth. And Dunsparce showing its superiority, and
Our friend Rainbow Pickle will be proud.
Donphan, the backup main Donphan is
Let's go, Donphan!
coming in to clean up.
Donphan was the answer the whole time. Stab Earthquake with the badge boost. Oh yeah. With the Earth badge boost, that's like 168% power or something like that. let's see. So 112.5 times 1.5. Yeah, that's about 169% power of Earthquake because of stab and badge boost.
So right now, looking at the way things are going right now, looks like we might be looking at a 240 in terms of time.
It's gonna be a rough finish. Phiyun, of course, only has 3 gyms left to do. Or no, he has 2 gyms left to do. He has the Glacier Badge and Thunder Badge.
But the catch is, he has to do the basement and he has to do the right side of the radio tower.
He does still have 15 rocket fights, and... But did he do Erica? He hasn't done Erica. Erica's the gym he hasn't done yet.
Yeah,
he does have Fly, though, so that will help him a lot. Yeah. He's probably figured out by now that card key is vanilla. Yeah, the different routes these our two runners have been taking has definitely been very interesting to watch, especially when they cross back and forth in their routing.
Yeah, it's both of them have taken gambles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In general, Phiyun's played it a bit safer, but
Herc has a lot more gym fights to do. In addition to the 2 long gyms in Chuck and Chuck and Claire.
The 2 Claires that they both need to do cancel out, as do the 2 Ericas. So
Phiyun is working his way through the Elite Four though, which will be good for him. The Raikou has fallen again. I'm hard pressed to believe why he's still forcing the Raikou. I really think he should just stick with the Donphan.
I really cannot think of any explanation. If he had just swapped the Donphan immediately, it could be like, what, level 56 by now?
Easily.
And could be approaching 60. Since ideally, in a really good seed, you'd be level 60 by red, or really close to it.
Yeah, you normally hit 60 or somewhere near 60 by the end. Like, even if you're using a legendary, you'll probably hit like 56 or 57 before rare candies, so like you're not too far behind it by the end, but it's still not the best. Ooh, Herc picked up a Sacred Ash at the end of Viridian Forest there. That's nice. Using cut strats to avoid the bug catchers. Definitely some easier movement. I always bonk somewhere on Route 2.
But now the question is, what is Herc going to do after Herc gets the Flame Badge? Herc's already done Janine, so he has a lot less of a reason to keep going there. He might just do a U-turn, go back, attempt blue, and then do E4.
He does have Erica to do yet.
True, he does have Erica.
He has the Storm Badge.
But it could be some time loss for him if he goes back, because he doesn't have Fly, so he will not be able to fly back from Newbark. So Phiyun cleaning up yet another member of the E4, cleaning up Bruno, I believe. And Herc taking on Blaine. Blaine wasn't particularly challenging, so Blaine shouldn't be a problem.
Certainly not. He's a considerably higher level than Phiyun's Raikou was.
Chad agreeing with me. Yeah, I definitely think that it is pretty likely that Herc is going to do Blaine, then do blue, E4, go back to the flower shop, get that item, and then take the pass to Fuchsia, no, not Fuchsia, Saffron. Then go left to Celadon, do Erica, or actually just fly to Celadon, not take the pass. And then Claire.
Alright. Plain badge for Herc. And Herc is going back for blue. Still putting off Erica.
So, will Herc teach double kick? It really comes down to this.
I think he's going to see the T-Tar and reset.
I hope he does that.
I don't think he has an X attack though, so he might be stubborn and push through.
I think. I mean, there's no reason to teach double kick and keep sludge bomb. There's no reason to teach double kick over sharpen. But
yeah,
it's hard to say.
It really depends on how much he values sharpen.
And also, if he remembers he has the double kick TM, it's possible he just forgot.
I mean, he's seen it multiple times. He has to know he's got it.
I mean, stress from a tournament race, anything could happen. Herc is human,
comes the
just
Quilava.
like the best of us. Not even
Mega
healing
Punch.
before the fight. That's risky.
Well, he's low on healing items, so maybe he's just trying to conserve them.
Perhaps. Herc doesn't like to particularly step into centers much.
Yeah, it's a time loss that you don't always need to take.
That minus defense could be a problem.
There's a lot of easy access PCs that you can use for healing.
Blue holding back on that
On the T-Tar, yeah.
T-Tar.
Maybe the T-Tar doesn't have a move for the Kingler. Super Fang Pincer.
And here comes the T-Tar. How much does Tri-Attack do? About a third, but we're just getting Fury Cutter. And then...
yeah,
gets the poison. Okay, we're good.
Very lucky for Herc, the T-Tar doesn't actually have a move that is strong on the Kingler.
Blue's got a full restore.
Yeah, I think he has two. It might be just
he
one,
used one already.
Ooh, T-Tar a jump kick too. Yeah, it is just the one.
Could have been worse. If Red has a T-Tar, though...
Alright, so Fine is still one badge up, but Herc is still the whole rocket sequence up. I do think Herc has the advantage at this time.
But Fine's got the E4 up.
He does. The E4 will not be nearly as difficult, I think.
Yeah,
for Herc to
won't
deal
have
with.
trouble.
This is assuming, of course, that no one has T-Bolt or Pebble Dance to immediately obliterate the Kingler.
Saving the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And now...
we get to find out what Elm has. The Super Rod.
The Super Rod.
So
Fine.
that
You can get a
pretty
main
much confirms for Phiyun that he does in fact have to go back to the basement.
He's immediately doing that.
Yep. He's going to deposit some pokes, I think, to clear up his inventory. Some things he doesn't need. Or... what? I'm confused.
Is there some...
Is there a secret dodo trade I've never heard of? Oh. Yes.
Well, looks like Phiyun is, showing us some style. Taking the time.
Indeed. I was expecting a full ban, Snow Bear, and Brahms. Drowning the Dark Prince.
At this rate, Phiyun's just gonna... Phiyun's just gonna be regretting life for the next 8.5 minutes, but...
He sure will be.
So let's focus on her. Let's see if any of the E4 give them trouble. At least Phiyun's Raycow. I almost said Raichu. At least the Raycow is higher level than the Donphan now.
Yeah. It only took half an hour or so.
Oh, well more than that.
Probably like an hour. That Chansey will probably get him to 53, if not almost to 53. Yep, there we go. Always happy to see a Chansey.
He's going to be about... Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rockets. I could see him getting, like... It's very little EXP, but he could get, like, a level and a half still, maybe. I could see him being still level 55, 56 for Red.
Because of all the extra fights in basement, he's probably going to be 56 or so before the rare candy. Actually, he's already used the rare candy, so no rare candy. Spend it to get a Donphan. Teach it moves and not use it.
Always gotta save your trump card for the last moment.
More like a trunk.
Red will never know what... Red will never know what hit him. Red's gonna be hearing stories about some Raycow, some electric type. He's gonna be loading up with earthquakes, magnitude, and then at the last second, Phiyun's gonna pull out the Donphan and not really do much because it's low level. Okay, it's gonna be lower leveled. But yeah, anything can happen. This is definitely one of the closest and strangest races I've seen. So on Herc's side, looks like Will was not a problem. Going to be moving on to Koga now.
Something happening with Phiyun's stream. Looks like it's pausing a little bit. Yeah. It seems like there might be some technical hiccups on Phiyun's end.
We'll get them sorted out shortly. Just gives us more time to look at the Kingler.
Looks like we're back to normal though.
I could see her teaching strength and double kick during the E4 for PP management.
I feel like he should, but to be determined. He might not need to. With enough setup, he'll be able to one-shot anything.
Now it's important to remember, Herc still doesn't have X speeds, I don't believe.
No, he hasn't bought any X items.
So he's there's just no other answer. He has to buy X speeds before red, otherwise it's a ridiculous risk.
Alright, Phiyun's almost halfway through the basement. He's on the 6th fight of 11. Meanwhile, Herc's working through the Elite Four. He's on, I believe, Koga? Koga or Bruno, one of the two.
Phiyun is on... sorry, Herc is on Bruno.
He's on Bruno, okay. So he's got 2 more fights in Elite Four after this one. So he's also just over halfway through.
That Bubble Beam Staryu attempting to be threatening.
And to Kingler, it kind of is sometimes. I don't believe Phiyun has the fly point to Blackthorn, so he will have to bike there still.
Yeah,
because he did not have the plane badge when he first visited Ice Path. Also, I forgot to mark that he has the coin case when he got it. Or no, he doesn't have the red Scalia because that's at the end of Radio Tower.
Phiyun's gonna be doing a full clear.
Yeah, Phiyun's doing a 100% run. While Herc is in go mode. Yeah, Herc does have the mystery egg, doesn't he?
Yeah, as our paths are converging, it does look like Herc is going to be in the lead.
They do both still have to bike through Ice Path. Could see some movement hiccups there.
Now Herc does have to bike all the way to Goldenrod to pick up Fly.
He
That's
does.
not nearly as long of a time loss as having to do all of the right side of the radio tower.
Yeah. Biking from Newbark to Goldenrod will be tedious because you do have to fight Rival 1. That's a fight you normally don't have to do in these. It's always funny to be going through Route 29 and then at the end of it it's like, wait, who's this nerd? Why does he only have a level 5 poke? Go away.
We don't know. We never named him.
Maybe he will name him.
I think the major turning point of this race for Phiyun was probably not doing Misty, because then he didn't get the Hive badge, so when he got cut, there was a lot of backtracking he had to do.
If he had gotten Misty, if he had fought Misty like right when he was able to, when he picked up the machine part item, that would have saved him probably a little bit of time because he'd have had cut and the Hive badge.
Yeah, he might have probably could have gone into a deep Kanto.
Mm-hmm. Well,
got the plane badge.
I believe he picked up the machine part item before he went to pick up cut from Olivine or from Sandwood, so he would have still had to go back and forth a little bit.
True. But... yeah.
No, I mean the cerulean gem item, not the machine part item itself. Either way, it was still a considerable amount of time ago. He could have fought Misty then and there, and that probably would have lined up their 2 runs a bit more.
Or as the chat is saying, turning point was not switching to the Dawn fan.
Correct! Always switch to the Ground Bowl if it has a good moveset.
Big bucket of EXP on Herc's side.
Ooh boy!
Herc is definitely going to hit level 60.
Easily.
And with that, Herc's beaten Lance.
Yeah, that only leaves 3 gems for him to do, 2 of which Phiyun has not done. He has to go to Chuck's gym and pick up the Rising badge. And we'll find out if he checks the squirt bottle on the way or not. I'm also looking forward to Rival 1.
Herc doesn't have Flash, so it's slightly more inconvenient to get to Mount Silver.
Either way, he's going to be checking what Professor Elm has. Picking up that super rod.
But still, this race is reasonably close enough that it could still really go either way, because
either of them could very easily get trolled by Lance. Or, not Lance, by Red.
Well, actually, looking at this, Phiyun's only got 2 more fights. It's actually going to be almost tied. They have the exact same number of gems left, and it's going to be almost basically tied. With Herc, if Herc picks up Fly. If Herc doesn't pick up Fly, then Phiyun's got the edge.
Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be a close race.
It's
from the beginning, I said it was going to be very close.
It is definitely going to come down to Red.
I do think at the start I would have given the edge to Herc, but I'm not too certain where we are.
Yeah, I think personally Phiyun definitely had an edge until he went to to check the ice path.
Regardless of whether Herc goes to check the squirt bottle on his way to Chuck's gym, he does still have those extra 5 fights that Phiyun does not have anymore.
Oh right, yeah, I'd completely forgotten. Phiyun has Chuck's gym. That is quite right.
And I think he's on the final rocket right now? Yeah, he's on the final rocket, so
Phiyun
that actually puts him up.
The lead.
Yes. So, with Phiyun finishing up Team Rocket and getting that red scale, let's get 100% key items. That means that Phiyun only has 2 gyms and red to do, while Herc still has 3 gyms and red to do. Herc is going to Claire first. That is going to be what kills the race for him, I think, unless Red really trolls Phiyun.
Honestly, that's a play I don't even understand.
Yeah, because there's still the key item. Oh, he hasn't checked Ice Path yet. He doesn't have Flash.
I guess he
So he might be hoping that Flash is in Ice Path.
Yeah, I guess. But equally possible is Fly can be behind Chuck's wife.
It is faster to go from Blackthorn to Cianwood by bike and surf than it is from to go to Cianwood and then to Blackthorn, because it looks like he did not check the squirt bottle item.
Yeah,
so we could be Herc could be flyless.
I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin for Herc, unfortunately.
Yep. That was the... If he had gone to check what Fly was, or what Squirt Bottle was before making his move for Blackthorn, that would have been the difference.
Chat's actually pointed out something. Technically, if you... Now, this would be difficult to realize, but technically, according to the logic, that had to be Flash.
Yes.
Because otherwise, they would not have been able to...
Yeah. They wouldn't have been able to...
But that was so long ago. It's very easy to forget that very niche.
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was about an hour or more ago that they both ended up sequence breaking and doing the Dark Room Rock Tunnel segment. So the sequence break is just not something they're thinking about when they're worrying about what items they can still check.
Yeah, it's extremely rare that even matters. That you have to keep in mind that it was in fact a sequence break, but this is the one time that it matters. They're going to be mostly synced in Rising Badge.
Mm-hmm.
Claire's gym. We'll see whose main is better, finally. Side-by-side comparison.
Same fight Hog. Now, will finally get his electric badge boost, or will he have to wait until he beats Erica?
It's unusual that Erica is going to be the last badge.
She's someone you don't normally think about until you've forgotten to do her.
wonder if either of our players will try to talk to... Oh, just completely forgetting about Erica.
I know I've done that once.
I mean, I doubt Herc will, because Herc also has Chuck. But phiyun might. So what could Red have that could wall phiyun long enough for Herc to get back?
Red would need to have he would need to have an Earthquake Dawn fan.
It would need to be a lead too.
It wouldn't need to be a Dawn fan. I think it was an Earthquake Dragonite as his 81. That would be the wall that stops phiyun in his tracks.
I'm thinking
there's not much else I can think of that would really wall phiyun, other than like a Dragonite. Scizor maybe, but phiyun has Surf and Zap Cannon.
Yeah, but still, Scizor is the
Yeah, an Earthquaking Grass type. Why Slowking, Snowbear? Well, phiyun has tons of X items, so he's definitely going to set up on something that Red has.
Slowking is an option, but Slowking would be.
He would at least set up his X accuracy at the start.
Zap Cannon. So it'd have to be something that is not weak to Zap Cannon, which is why I'm thinking like Scizor.
Yeah, like a bulky Grass type with Earthquake, or like a Mewtwo, or Dragonite with Earthquake. Those would be the big walls that phiyun could face.
I mean, if it's a Mewtwo, then everyone's worried.
Yes. But, of course, we don't have Forcefully Evolved turned on, so it could be unevolved and just be completely free.
Yeah, most likely it's something unthreatening, like a Magnemite.
Oh man, if it was a Magnemite, that would be hilarious.
Funnily enough, Magnemite would actually be threatening for Herc.
Yeah. He doesn't have a lot that can deal with it. And the Thunder Badge. So phiyun will finally be getting his badge boost in a moment for all of his moves.
Which means that Erica has been holding on to the Glacier Badge. Turns out Lugia was off the table for a very long time.
What a shame. Unless, of course, phiyun would have gone to Erica while he was backtracking through Cycling Road. If he had done that, then it would have been different. So Herc has to go through Dark Cave. He at least doesn't have to turn the dark now because he has Flash.
I'm not sure why Herc is still picking up items. They're really, right now... Yeah, it's
just force of habit.
Yeah, force of habit, but... Yeah, at this point...
He's going through 46. Interesting.
His movement is just rusty with that route. That's a route that you very rarely traverse.
Yeah, I would have just gone straight into Dark Cave from Blackthorn on 45. phiyun picked up the leftovers in Erica's, in Celadon's little cafe. Gonna give that to his Raikou for that extra bit of bulk. Right before he fights Erica.
Rock Smash is not required to go through Dark Cave from the Blackthorn side. Now, so there's 3 entrances into Dark Cave. There's, of course, the one at the start on 31. There's the one in Blackthorn, and the only one that's blocked by Rock Smash, and is in fact one way, is the one on 46.
Yes.
It's Eggstone.
No, you can go, well, yeah, if you don't have Rock Smash, it's one way. But you
Are there not one-way jump-down platforms?
There are one-way jump down platforms going from Blackthorn to 31 or 46, but you can go from 46 to 31.
Okay, my mistake.
I think. I'll have to double check my map. Yeah, you can bike up the right side of the 46 entrance and then go left and around to get to the violet side. You just need to have Rock Smash available.
Well, Herc is finally got Fly. He's going to be relieved.
Yep.
Possibly kicking himself, but
Definitely
at least
kicking
he
himself.
gets to Cyanwood a lot faster.
Also, I forget, does Herc have the coin case? I want to say he does. I think they've all checked every item.
Coin case is Chuck's wife.
Oh yeah,
is
it's
it
Chuck's
not?
wife, so he's probably just gonna skip that. Alright, so Phiyun has one fight left before red. Phiyun has one fight left before red. Herc has 5. And leading with a Pichu means an easy fight.
Herc is a bit more than 5, because Herc also has to do Erica's gym.
That's true, he has 8 fights. No, 9. Well, now he has 8. It was 9 total before he started the gym. Because there's 4 in Erica's gym. Huh. Herc's walled by Shuckle.
I mean, to be fair, everyone is walled by Shuckle.
Yep. Very true. Oh wait. Doesn't have...
Shuckle with Haze and Recover? Heal well? Lead? Shoutouts to the Shuckle lead.
Shoutouts to the Shuckle. He's got a Giga Drain TM, that's interesting.
Well, Phiyun did not forget to talk to Oak, fortunately. And at 2 hours and 40 plus minutes, we are heading to red.
I can't believe this race was slower than mine. That's what happens when you get a Snow Bear ROM and vanilla card key. The fly 2 feet because you forgot about the Indigo Plateau being the first fly point instead of the last one. Always something I never really understood.
I always find it difficult to remember the order of the Kanto fly points.
Yes, it is.
Yes. The cousin of the E4 last strat. The save even less time flying.
That might have saved him like maybe 5 seconds, or if that.
Nah, it saved 50, definitely 50.
Yeah, 50, that's right.
Is Phiyun gonna use Flash? He sure is.
He is trying to remember who he taught it to. Took a few steps without that. Herc got his Rising Badge. And his Giga Drain TM.
It is time for the dramatic music.
Our favorite.
And to see if Red is a horrible person.
He leads a Kabutops.
That could be threatening if it's got Earthquake. Nice guard spec. Now he's just gonna...
Mm-hmm.
Now Phiyun's just got this. Shoutouts to Gen 2 AI.
Gus, can we get some keys of champs in the chat for this Raikou for making it against all odds?
we've only seen 2 moves. It could still have Haze and Earthquake. It just needs to use them. And that's gonna be a sweep.
It sure is. Hitler's Swank. Gonna take a cannon. Meryl definitely gonna take a cannon.
This has been a pretty easy red.
Oh yeah, very easy red. The only minor wall has been the Sunflora. Now Herc's still working on. Herc is still working on Erica's gym.
And with that, phiyun finishes the race in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 2 hours, 45 minutes, and 40 seconds.
He sure does.
Let's see if we can get we're gonna try and get phiyun in for an interview now. Welcome, phiyun. Congratulations.
So fine. My first question for you.
Yes.
My first question for you. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you hate Snowbear now?
79.
79. That's quite a bit higher than I rated him on after my race.
That's quite a lot of numbers.
I mean, does he deserve it?
Yes.
See? Oh, if you want, Snowbird, you can resume the stream. I muted Discord on the stream, so they can hear you the rest of the credit music. Yeah, I saw it. Just was saw.
Now my second question.
Yes.
Why did you not switch to the Dawn Fan after teaching it all those excellent moves?
Okay, so my plan was to run with the Reikau because it has the better base stats, and I felt a bit more confident with the Reikau overall, because don't forget that Dawnfan is slow, and basically every
slow but
Hydro
very bulky.
Yep.
That is true.
That is another factor, the zero stat experience.
True. It was 15 levels higher, though.
It was 15 levels higher, but I overall felt safer with the Reikau. That probably was also not good stat-wise. I think it was low special, but it was workable with.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
It surprised both of us, but it did work out in the end, fortunately
it sure did.
for you.
Herc is just approaching Mount Silver now. He ended up running with a Kingler that he found on, I think, route 30 or 31.
Oh.
That he never taught double kick to.
Nope.
Okay.
It had rolling kick, but he taught over that with Sludge Bomb. Which was
Herc
questionable.
showing us his mastery of dark movement. Very impressive.
Did you also do Rock Tunnel in the Dark?
Yep, both of you did.
Okay.
So my next question, phiyun, is about
Yes.
Misty. You opted to not do Misty after you got the machine parts. You just got the Dawn Fan, which you then left as a backup. But Misty ended up having the Hive Badge. So what are your thoughts on how that worked out?
So in general, I used that path because if you think about it, at the point where I was at in Cerulean, Misty was not technically in Logic, because Rock Tunnel in the Dark is also not in Logic.
True.
That's true.
So I was thinking, okay, so the progression is probably somewhere where I can logically go, which would have been Janine, who I skipped for that point, or Radio Tower, which I think I did at that point.
You after you picked up the Snorlax, you went to Radio Tower.
Then you picked up the Flash in the Ice Path, which was the progression item.
Which would have then put Misty in Logic.
Yeah, which then put Misty into Logic. That's the Larvitar slot.
Yeah, that's
the Larvitar, slot.
No, I think it's even the Pupitar slot.
No, it's the Larvitar slot. there aren't Pupitar's in Mount Silver.
I'm pretty sure there are in Crystal, but whatever. So yeah, okay, but that was basically my thought process of staying as much in logic as I can and check that first, and then basically climb along the logic. And then when I got
Oh, wow.
Hive Badge on Misty, I was like, okay, so Plain Badge cannot be in Johto, so I'm just gonna finish Kanto first. And then I got the Plain Badge from Blaine, and then I did
You did Janine after that.
and then I was skipping Erika because I needed to heal PP anyway because I was low on PP. And I thought it would maybe be better to check at least the what's it called, the squad bottle item, and that was
Yes.
Fly. So I was agile and mobile. So I basically left Erika for last because of that.
Unfortunately for Herc, he opted to not check the squirt bottle item until after he went over to Blackthorn. He didn't even. I don't think he even. No, he did have cut obviously, but he didn't have flies after finishing Elite Four. So he had to do Rival 1, and then he biked over to the pseudo, and he could have checked the squirt bottle when he was passing by Goldenrod, but he opted to go over to Blackthorn first, which was unfortunate for him because he hadn't checked the flash item in Ice Path.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there were a lot of risks that Herc took that some paid off, like doing early Goldenrod basement.
Yep, he checked the vanilla card key a lot faster, or a lot earlier than you.
I honestly didn't check the vanilla card key because it's very tedious to do so because it's 9 extra fights.
Yeah, 9 extra fights. 9 extra fights, and all 11 fights together is 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was risky, but because of Herc's play and the fact that it was vanilla card key, and you ended up doing E4 for the longest time and near the end, both of you, we had no idea who was in the lead since you had both done completely separate things.
That's hilarious.
It was close.
Yeah, it came down to if Herc decided to go check. If he decided to go check what the score bottle item was before moving on with his last 2 gyms in Johto,
I wouldn't say he would have been able down to that, but it was close.
I think it almost did. It was very close.
That was a factor. Anyway, welcome, Herc.
So, Herc, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Phiyun. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you hate Snowbear right now?
It's fine. It's whatever. It happens.
That's
I didn't make. I literally. I think the factor was I just didn't make the correct play to get Fly immediately. I banked on it being HM07.
Yeah, it was. That was quite. I'm not sure if that was the would have made you like. It definitely gave you a bit of a downside, and if you would, it was hard to figure this out. But Flash, that key item had to be Flash because of the logic.
Yeah, the logic doesn't force you to go through Rock Tunnel without Flash. So because you didn't have Flash yet, the last key item you had available to you at the time was Flash, and that was inside Ice Path. So because the Ice Path item was Flash and in logic at the time, it was the only thing it could have been. I explained that poorly.
I think one of the bigger factors was you having to backtrack all the way for cut after the rocket section.
Mm-hmm. So I had nowhere else that literally it was either at there or Secret Potion. Which was a problem, and I wasn't going to Chuck's Island unless I had Plain Badge, so I could do the badge. It would be a waste of a trip unless I was forced to go there.
And of course, Plain Badge was locked behind cut, so it was just forced on you either way. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, Phiyun ended up going to getting that before Phiyun left Olivine the second time, so saved a bit of time there, but took a risk. Now, something that we were wondering was your choice on moveset for your Kingler.
Yes.
You had taught Sludge Bomb, but we were really thinking that the double kick TM you had would have been better type coverage. So what are your thoughts on that?
Double kick is, it's an okay move. Sludge Bomb, though, is slightly better, in my opinion. It's got decent enough coverage. Problem is if I teach kick over, let's say, Sludge Bomb, and I run out of Shadow Balls, then I'm Ghost Walled.
Fair enough.
That's true.
Fair enough. We were thinking about like a lot of the troubles you had with T-Tar, for instance.
It's fine. It happens.
Yeah. Fortunately, you were able to power through.
I was banking on possibly finding a different TM that would have been slightly better, but whatever. I mean, I'm running a 130 power Kingler. Like,
yeah, you were able to
deal
brute
with
force
pretty
your
much
way
everything.
through anything that would have resisted. Now,
It's just
you're
a shame.
gonna hate. Yeah, you're gonna hate this, Herc, but phiyun actually ran a Ray Cow that was in a headbutt tree.
Go figure. Yeah, nothing like getting 7 Sunkerns dropped on your head. I was convinced that there was nothing in those trees except the Sunkern, so I just gave up on it.
It wasn't. It wasn't the best starting moveset on the Ray Cow. It had what was it? Zap Cannon and one other move.
It did have Earthquake.
It learned Earthquake at 11.
Yeah, it got that as its first level up move, and I forget what its other starting move was.
Dragon Breath,
Spike.
I think.
Right, Dragon Breath.
And Spike
Ew.
Cannon, but
phiyun
We'll
was able to make it work.
And there were a couple TMs you could have opted for that you didn't go for. Like phiyun went to Mr. Psychic's house that had an Earthquake TM, which he.
Are you serious? That's the one thing I was hoping to find. Gosh darn it.
So here's a question. Man. Would you have considered switching to the Dawn Fan if you had gotten that Earthquake TM?
Yeah, easily. I mean, at the time, my Kingler was level 38. So a level 51 Dawn Fan. That's why I grabbed the. I was gonna grab the rare candy anyway, but I grabbed the rare. I was gonna go grab the rare candy, assuming that it had a decent-ish moveset, and that thing was hot trash, dude.
Yeah, just high jump kick wouldn't have been enough, but like phiyun had held on to both Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, and Earthquake, so he just taught moves to it and kept it as a backup.
Yeah, and then continued running the level 35 Ray Cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart. Overall, I feel like I played everything correctly. I just got mega hecked by not having fly.
Yeah,
I feel like if it was in a better location, I feel like I played that ROM pretty perfectly.
Yeah, really, I think it could have come down to if you'd realized that the Ice Path TM was forced to be flashed by logic, then you definitely could have come back. You were a bit behind because you just had that worse luck getting the main, but yeah, it's just a tough break.
The logic overall in this ROM was not the ideal, to say the least.
Yeah, it was, pretty. I mean, listen, vanilla card key says it all.
Mm-hmm. Vanilla card key Snow Bear ROM says it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be.
Yeah. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
So before we wrap this up, do you have anything more to say, phiyun?
No, I think everything is said.
Yeah, Snow Bear's banned.
Well, again, I guess we'll wrap this up here. As problematic as some of the ROMs that Snow Bear has made, we wouldn't be able to organize this tournament without you, so big shoutouts to Snow Bear. Feel free to follow him and our runners, Herc and phiyun, for putting on this extremely close race. We had no idea who was going to be who's going to win at the very end. And feel free to follow my co-commentator Geos or myself.
Yeah.
And of course, one final shout out to Randomania for hosting us. With that, I've been Cavan856, and I'll catch you next time.
And I've been Geospone. We'll be back again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for a match between Snorms and Thomas Patrick WX. So, looking forward to that for sure.